Hello everyone, welcome to Arcana Imperii. No more talking, let's just get right into it, shall we? Well, what do we do now? Decide between worrying about ourselves or worrying about the war? I like to consider the big picture, but it's not easy. Might I offer just a bit of wisdom? No, if Elisa says no. Go on. Alright. Remember what the Oracle said? I suggest you hurry along and track down the most influential man in the capital. You mean Nikos? I'm curious about him. A lobbyist from the rebel territory freely mingling with members of both houses. At face value, it's absurd. People don't like to talk about the messy details that don't benefit them. Nikos has the dictator's favor. That's plenty of incentive for the house members to stay on his good side. As bad as it sounds, I think you two should do the same. It might not win you with your verdict, but he could delay the arbitration if you ask nicely. I don't exactly like the sound of that. Even if we did, we don't know how to contact him. Well, maybe I can arrange that for you. If you could, we'd be grateful. As long as we aren't getting you in trouble. Not at all. I'm just glad to see the legendary crown mages in action. But if you're looking to pay me back, perhaps your extended entourage might be willing to assist me. Who? Is he looking at us? Seems like it. Fancy guy like him? I'm sure he'll pay us good. I'm not. Are you sure that's a good idea, Kairos? Yes, please. Take them. See? Even boss approves. They will be well looked after. It's not them we're worried about. Just be sure their hands stay out of your own pockets. That's no worry at all. You two have the council to deal with. Now that's something to get anxious about. Kairos turns towards the hyenas. You fellas ready to lend me a hand then? Yeah! So long as you do good by us. Seems like we got a new boss for now, boys. Boss? I'm not fond of that. This is a partnership that works for you all, partners. Lead the way then. Partner. I think the thinnest likes what he's hearing. Kairos leaves and the hyenas decide to follow. He made friends with those four awfully quick, didn't he? If only it was that easy for us. Oh, come on. Men like those hyenas go as quickly as they come. They only stick around if they can sniff out a use for you. Sounds like you're jealous. I'm about as jealous as when someone catches my coal. Very jealous. Listen, I'm just speaking from experience. Those hyenas are getting a little too hard to control for my liking. So long as they're working with us, I don't mind what they do. I feel the same way. Speaking of which, we should be getting to work ourselves. Let's head to the council building and see what we can do. I just got done eating, so I might have some phlegm in my throat. The crown mages enter the council building once more. The sounds of clunking mechanisms and crashing waters muffled beneath an emotional discussion in the hall. Is it the boyfriends? It is the boyfriends again. Rolling over and showing your belly will mean nothing if their knife spills your guts. That's nothing but an unfounded presumption. Oh look, it's those two again. You'd think two men who can't stand each other wouldn't spend so much time together. Makes one wonder, doesn't it? Oh, get your mind out of the gutter. They're clearly bound by duty. Not unlike our own situation, really. Zerf shoots a wink at Krokos. Just make sure you buy the expensive wine when you start thinking about taking me out to dinner. If you're going to offer your heart to me, just make sure it's extra bloody. I could do a lot of things with it, if it's still beating. Vita sighs loudly. Well, at least we found someone we know. I think I'll talk to Regulus first. He seems the most approachable to our cause. I'll distract Tamayo so you don't get interrupted. I appreciate it. Vitus meets Regulus' gaze as he approaches the amber and crimson hyena. Aha! Well, if it isn't Vitus, the crown mage, what brings you back here so soon? Truth be told, we could probably hear you and Tamayos arguing from the other side of the city. You're funny. I thought you would be busy considering the murder allegations and pending arbitration. But you must have come to me for another reason today. Right, You're concerned about our lack of actions towards the rebels and what it could mean for the people on the battlefront. Right. I share those concerns. I would like to imagine that the House of Lords will soon give in to reason and negotiate with the rebels. What kind of demands do the rebels have? Not very agreeable ones, but that doesn't mean we should ignore them entirely. Making excessive demands first is a standard negotiation technique. Even then, I'd like to hear the details. Merely the distribution of the capital's entire green stockpile to the outer provinces and the abolition of all taxes. Of course, it's impossible to agree to such demands as they stand. However, I'm sure the rebels will agree to compromise on lower taxes and a food relief plan. The House of Lords benefit from those taxes, naturally. They will not budge. Oh, did my game just freeze? Oops. Give it a moment, everyone. Something's going on in the background, probably. Oh. And so this needless war goes on. That's it? I believe as much. But how can we be certain if we refuse to talk to the rebels? On the other hand, do you believe the Republic could defeat the rebels? Quite possibly. But how long would a war like that last? Everyone will suffer in the end. There's plenty of suffering happening already. True, but let's say the Republic did come out victorious. This will only sow greater discontent among the provinces, and then the cycle begins again in time. Things will only get worse if neither of the houses come to some sort of compromise. That responsibility fall upon the House of Lords. First, they must admit they're making excuses for their own benefit. Then, they must face the reality where they don't get everything they want. And if both houses decide not to do anything? Regulus' expression stiffens for a moment. But then he eases back into his confident demeanor. Hold on, I'm plugging in my mic. I think there will be a point where enough people demand that the House of Lords sees reason. Perhaps. Well then, thank you for discussing your perspective with me. Anytime at all, our esteemed guests. Vitus nods politely before leaving to meet Valises elsewhere in the council building. Vitus, you're finally back. Since you left, Timaeus has been hounding me about tea houses in the capital. That doesn't sound so bad. Well, he asked me if I should put the tea or the boiling water in the pot first. I had a 50% chance of getting it right. I did not get it right. He's been lecturing me on the correct way ever since. Is there even a correct way? You must put the tea in the pot first. I will not have it any other way. It doesn't bloody matter. I hope I'll be able to keep the senator on topic during our chat. Best of luck. Timaeus locks his gaze upon Vitus as he approaches. He's got that smug look. Ah, you have returned, messenger. I must be blessed after all to run into you, especially considering the curious allegations levied against you and your companions. But that is neither here nor there. I'm too busy to burden myself with legal process. Ah, well, thank you for your understanding. I hope you have time to talk to me, Senator Timaeus. Sounds like negotiations between the houses haven't budged since we last met. Panther forcefully closes his hefty tome. The gall of that man. This is a trivial matter. Is it? The Republic must show its military strength. If the rebel forces surrender swiftly, then we do not need to entertain negotiations. I will not consider appeasing them unless I have no other choices. Sometimes it is better not to talk before you fight, to avoid full-blown war at the very least. Perhaps, if the rebels had shown any sign of peace, they slaughtered them mercilessly and have never opted for a ceasefire. I wager they want nothing but death to the Republic's loyalists. Don't the councillors from the House of Commons believe the rebels want peace? The rebels already asked for food and lower taxes. That's their story, sure. The rebels' demands are nothing but mockery. They ask for the entire grain reserves. Do the people of Sadr Franzia not deserve to eat? Given their situation, they have nothing to lose by starting with unreasonable demands. Is there no room for negotiation? How naive. If they wished to talk, they would have paused their campaign upon making their demands. And yet they march towards our very doorstep as we speak. Their fanciful acts are nothing but an excuse to attack. Any failure to suppress them now will only disgrace the Republic's authority further. Is force the only way to uphold the Republic's might? What about offers of food or supplies? That may work this year, but how much would they demand the next? And if we lower taxes, where will our budget come from? There are a great deal of people who would take advantage of such arrangements. You know what's worse than being corrupt? Being a traitor. What are you implying? Among the House of Commons are those who collude with the enemy. The fact that Nikos, a rebel lobbyist, can openly operate in the capital is proof enough. It's an open secret, but he has been consorting with the dictator. I cannot fathom why. Perhaps trouble always comes closer than you wish it would. Panther Man glares at Regulus from across the hall. A moment later, the hyena pouts and looks away. That sticky beak. Don't be fooled by the excuses of the House of Commons. Learn to be skeptical, especially when you're dealing with politicians. You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you for your time, Senator Timaeus. Vitas finds Valises in the center of the hall. Did you get either of them to budge? They didn't even give me the chance. Bugger. The capital can't keep operating like this, and I reckon they know it. Vitas relates the comments of the Tribune and Senator to Valises. I thought that Regulus spoke honestly, but Timaeus asked me to think otherwise. Or perhaps they're both telling us exactly what they want us to hear. Fortunately, we don't have the luxury of waiting to find out. Vitas waves towards the Tribune and Senator as they approach. Ah, Crown Mages, have you decided which of the houses you will support? Surely the messengers of the Lord will see reason. I don't believe we need to pick sides. I'm also in favor of reaching compromise. What? Ridiculous. How about we put troops on the front lines while sending an envoy to negotiate with the rebels? That's not happening. I already said the House of Lords will not support any talks with the rebels. As we shouldn't. You should swallow your pride and admit your failures. Any envoy will likely be slaughtered before they even have the chance to speak. Why not send some troops to protect them? Huh, that's not a bad idea. If the rebels fail to accept our terms, the troops could suppress them directly. An envoy arriving with armed men would be seen as an act of aggression. Besides, I doubt the House of Lords would be able to resist any selfish excuse to make use of those troops. Well, nothing is getting done otherwise. Your worst fears will come to pass if you don't get your shit together. They flinch. If you haven't noticed, Vitas has started getting more and more comfortable with his quote-unquote roar sprite, so he's starting to give commands more. Even if we do agree to compromise. We're just two members of many. Then you convince the others. Is that not what you're good at? Being good is far enough from being good enough. If you want both houses to come to a decision, you'll need to convince a majority. Then how can we try? And as quickly as possible. There's a banquet tomorrow evening. Everybody from the council will be in attendance. Everybody. An excellent idea. The whole capital has heard tales of the miracles performed in Irinipolis. The feats of the Guardians, the great savant, the Paragon, and the Savior. I say there's no greater miracle than bringing such an irreconcilable group of people to a compromise. Perfectly put. If you can convince the House of Commons to change their position, then I will gladly follow. And I'll do the same. If and only if those conditions are met. No further lofty requests. The shoves an elbow in Elisa's side. Well, see what we can do then. The group leaves. The Crown Mages rub their temples as they descend the steps, eventually arriving at Sulpicius' estate. We still haven't heard of him, by the way. So we just have to convince a great number of stubborn, powerful, and wealthy people to change their minds. Sounds perfectly reasonable. Why a sour face? I thought changing minds was your specialty. Perhaps Vitas is recalling the attitudes of the nobles back in Irinipolis. Soon he will encounter members of much more established families. You don't need to spell it out. I never volunteered to be a messenger for the gods, and I asked even less to speak for anyone other than myself. Who am I to ask powerful people to listen to me? I'm nothing but a fraud. Hey, that's not true. Isn't it? I know I'm nothing special. If you've been faking it, then you've done a stellar job. Better than me, certainly. You've convinced plenty of people to listen to you. Confronting Kroko's isolation, resolving Circle's indecision, getting her clouds to open up. What do you do for me exactly? You shut the fuck up. Regardless. You wouldn't be able to do all of that if you weren't using your own words. I think you should stop doubting yourself over something you clearly care about. Valises. Thank you. As the day progresses, Vitas and Valises debate talking points they can use to support a compromise between the houses. All the while they wait for any news from Sulpicius or Kairos. The two have heard nothing from the formers since their arrival in the capital. As noon turns to night, they're forced to retire to their rooms. In the mornings, there's still no word from either of them. I'm getting worried. I wouldn't be. Sulpicius is resourceful. He'll show himself when he wants to. I hope you're right. You should be more concerned about your performance at the banquet tonight. I'm sure that the food will be wonderful. Pity that I won't have much of an appetite. If you needed to eat, I wouldn't hold back if I were you, either of you. You both could use a bit more meat on your bones, you know. Really now. And what does Makari Hari think about that? Mukaki's right. Now that's more like it. Of course now they're agreeing over something. Then they can just be wrong together. Let's just get ready for tonight. Makari Hari and Mukaki are out here looking for Vitas and Valise Crown Mage inflation. The Crown Mages wash themselves before putting on their best clothes. Don't they only have the one cloth? All the while Krokos recites rules of etiquette until their head feels ready to explode. Zermes interjects every so often with tips on how to talk to the nobles. But Krokos quickly shoots the cheater down, his expression becoming increasingly vexed each time. Cercles and Herclaus merely offer the Crown Mages their condolences. By the time all preparations are in order, it's dark once more and the banquet is underway. Upon arriving at the Capitol building, they show the guards their invitations and enter the gardens. Game froze. OBS froze. I didn't realize there would be so many counselors. Well, the Republic is massive. It's hardly surprising if every region is meant to be represented. How are we going to convince all of the house members by the time this banquet is over? Many hands make light work. You'll just divide the duty 6 ways. That'll make it faster, right? Cercles? You're not usually someone who takes initiative. I may not be best at talking, but I know a thing or two about efficiency. This may be easier if we let our reputation do the talking, as much as I loathe all the talking. Really, I find it plenty enjoyable. Just the thought of all these men with their eyes upon me. Pretty damn exciting. Vitas, ignore anything that you just said. Sure. Good luck to everybody then. Vitas approaches a small crowd of counselors from the House of Commons. There's a little excuse for no fish at a banquet like this. Perhaps you like a rich gravy? Gravy? And here I thought this was the capital. Landlocked, of course. We have a medley of spices and seafood if we had our way. Pardon me. The counselors continue eating. Do you think it might be easier for the capitals to stock all of the meals you crave if the supply routes were safer? Anyways, the blood sausage is the best of it all. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice, but in the capital you don't expect nice. You expect great. This is sufficient at best. Vitas feels his head spin until he calls out a name, as if almost by instinct. Zermes! No need to shout, kid, and I'm closer than you think. Vitas lowers his voice. You're completely ignoring me, as if I'm not even there. It's true, they are walking all over you. Watch me closely, not that I need to ask you. Zermes plots down on the bench between the two house members and scarfs down the food from their plates. What manner of spectacle is this? What's the matter? I thought you were just complaining about the food lacking flavor. You're a bit much. Oh please, everyone here knows you all have no titles. None of you are better than me, you're just richer than me. Our table manners alone make us better than you. Zermes takes the man's wine and starts to drink it. That's mine. Not anymore. If you're so much better than me, then how come you couldn't stop me from taking it? The nearby counselors burst into laughter. The older man looks furious, now his fur standing on end. Stop this nonsense at once. If you want me to leave, then you should all start explaining to Vitas why you won't support a compromise with the House of Lords. The quicker you explain, the faster I'll go. Or would you rather I stay? Upon hearing this, some of the counselors look away, but the older man is not deterred. Give me a hand, will you, kitten? Oh, bother. Alright. Convince the House of Common Councilors to support a compromise. Hello everyone, welcome back. My game froze, and I probably edited out the part where I first had this trial. It looks like things clearly have not improved in the slightest, because this is fucking bullshit. I don't know what's going on today with my PC. I saw the AMD install manager up, but I don't think it's installing anything anymore since I force shut off my PC. Well, I guess if I edited out the previous one, I might as well. Now, don't look so nervous. I got you your audience. It won't be easy to convince the counselors after choosing that route. Being in truth is better than not being felt at all. Besides, I'm the prick on their back, not you. Here's a tip. Flirt with them and they'll surely warm up to you. I have standards. Huh. There's that Lashihi I was looking for. Not so nervous now, are you? You're a real menace. You know what was the shitty part? My hand was actually fucking great when in the previous one. Well, I know they don't have any blues, so... How about red? Ooh, I got rid of 2 cards. Typically, Regulus, you would try to pair it in tandem with Kairos, because Kairos allows you to see his what's it called? Of course. Yeah, so typically you would preferably be using Regulus with Kairos so that you can see specifically which cards to get rid of, but this is fine, I guess. I'm at disadvantage though. As members of the council, don't you want to end this war? How can you complain about something as frivolous as your meals tonight when the roads become more treacherous each day? Those are a whole lot of talking for someone who refused to talk with me. A banquet is not the time to discuss such matters. Unlike your cheetah friend here, you must not be used to banquets. Why ruin the mood with such heavy topics? Exalted element. Alright. Well, there's a chance I'm losing this hand, so I might as well. Well, I'm not gonna... Yep. Thankfully, I used up the exalted element now, didn't I? You're taking Regulus? Why? Also, I don't want to distract you from anything, but notice how Regulus is, you know, he's showing his butt towards us, and oh boy. These people know you are my messenger, yet they still have this attitude. And how about you do something to make them lazy? Listen to me. It's not like I can control their minds, and even if I could, it would be a waste of my power. How about some sort of miracle? It would spend a great deal of my power to do that. If all the counselors were present, I might consider it. So you can, but you're just lazy. It's really what it is, isn't it? Come on, man! That sucked. Oh wait, what am I even using you for? Could I win right now? I would need 6 attack. I don't have 6 attack. You know, back in Iranipolis, I met some hyenas that earned a lot of money while the city was surrounded by the rebels. Oh, tell me more. They uncovered a smuggling plot by the Merchants Guild and ended up taking over their business. Are you implying something about the Merchants Guild? Implying? No, nothing at all! Zermi steps on Vida's foot. My apologies, it's a bit complicated. Altar trial, blessed trial, a lot of trials. Do you know what I have? It seems got rid of Doreen, I think. The Demiurgers aren't the only ones who can perform miracles, you know. You never told me you knew magic. You're not kidding, are you? I can bring a man to paradise by my own hands. I suppose you could call it magic, but I promise it will feel like a miracle. I knew it was gonna be something inappropriate. Look, you need to let your mane down a bit. You're too serious, and those counselors aren't having it. Fine, I get what you mean, and no, I'm not taking the rest of your advice. He be straight fucking jorking those motherfuckers. Holy shit. It's a joke about masturbation, you see. Well, at least the game's running smoother now. What are you gonna do? You gonna bring out Kairos? Well, best not to. Well. We'll get an exalted element over here. Fucking stealing the show. Let's end it with various. Just casually. You're a very engaging conversationalist, my boy, but it would be best if we refrain from discussing such dangerous topics. And tell me why you won't compromise with the House of Lords. Surely you already know by now. I want to hear what you have to say, even if it's just a confirmation. Fine, if I must. Various is, we're burning here too. Hey. So little mementos. Well then, what do you say? It's as you said, the longer this war goes on, the worse trade becomes within the Republic. The capital should just accept their humiliation and let the common people return to their ways of life. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Why wouldn't you just talk to me before? Nobody answers until the youthful counselor breaks the silence. We're all self-made men at this table. Hold your tongue. I won't, because this must be heard. Whenever the war ends, many things will return to normal. Trade in particular, but war requires a lot of resources. Rations, weapons, manpower, transportation. As members of the House of Commons, we must not speak out against the interests of the people. As you can imagine, that includes our own families, merchants and tradesmen too. Enough! It's in our best interest not to speak with you. A wave of silence washes over the group. My family is not in the business of war, so do not pretend to speak for all of us. The councils bicker among themselves. Believe this as much as we're going to get out of this group for now. I think I agree. Well then. Thank you all, it's been a pleasure. None of them acknowledge Zermes over the rumble of discontent, but he stands up to leave with Vidas anyways. Thought we were trying to change the minds of the counselors, not start an argument. Arguments can be very informative, especially when it's a room full of people lording secrets over one another. Just make sure things don't turn violent. I'm going to seek out a group from the House of Lords. Don't wait for me to follow. Krokos was dealing with them. Vidas approached the chattering group of senators from the House of Lords. Evening, gentlemen. The canoes seemed at their hearty soups, ignoring Vidas just as much as the other councils did. Trying to look for help, he noticed Krokos, Herklaus, and Circles speaking with Regulus and Timaeus. They all talked for a while, almost too long, but Vidas doesn't want to interrupt them. Oh, you see them too? What's going on over there? They're pressing for information about why the senators here aren't talking to us, but they're taking an awfully long time. Why not ask the counselors directly? That's what Zermes did. He helped you too, did he? I ran into him just before coming here, but these senators seem to be far more stubborn. The House of Lords are mostly nobles. Perhaps they believe we aren't important enough to talk to. So you need help getting their attention, do you? Krokos? Krokos, I'm glad to see you. I keep finding myself distracted, but never mind that. To get the attention of nobles, we'll need Herklaus. Why Herklaus? Because he's the only one among us with noble blood. That is to say, sometimes your reputation can speak louder than words. Where is he now, anyways? Krokos points to Regulus and Timaeus. They're laughing with drinks in hand and Herklaus standing between them, his face placid and expressionless. Well, at least Circles managed to slip away. Shall we rescue him? I'm already on my way. Timaeus and Regulus sparkle with delight upon seeing Vitus. It's about time the messengers showed up. We hope you find the banquet well. I can say that I've made some friends among the House of Commons. I'm not surprised. The House of Commons is far more willing to lend an ear than those stuffy nobles. A bit of stuffiness would do you good if some drink is loosening your lips this early. Glad to see you two are getting along. Sorry, but I'll be needing this big guy here. Vitus hooks his paw under Herklaus' arms and guides him away from the merry senator and tribune. Where are we going, Crown Mage? Away from your captors. They're quite the bothersome pair. I noticed. Though in fairness, that's usually the conclusion I come to for most people. I hear you're of noble birth. That's one of the reasons I joined the army. It's much easier to talk to soldiers than entertain a banquet. I can relate. Vitus returns to the chattering group of councils from the House of Lords, this time with Herklaus in turn. Well, at least I'm not on my own this time. In not much time at all, the table of noblemen shift their attention towards Herklaus, turning their heads in curiosity. What do we do now? I don't know. Is that Herklaus? I heard he was the strongest man who ever lived. I thought he would be taller. Hard to believe I'd ever get to see him. It's a strange time to be alive indeed. This war certainly can be helping things. Well spoken. Would be a damn war if those traitors were put back in their place. Welcome to the future, Lord Herklaus, where cowards and misers rule the day. Would you like to hear the wisdom of the past, then? Gladly. Answer me first, then. What does your enemy wish for? More or less just to lop off the heads of their betters. No sense of loyalty, no gratitude for their protectors. It's unacceptable. The bull shakes his head. That's too vague. Even fanatics have cause. I have better things to do with my time than to think about the rallying cries of desperate fools. I'll entertain the notion, Herklaus. That is, if you can spare me some of your wisdom. Very well. But you also need to listen to what my companion has to say. Here we go again. They're fighting Herklaus, of all people. While you may not acknowledge him, I have a great deal of respect for my summoner. Summoner? You must mean the Crown Mage beside you. Did he really summon you? But he carries himself like a commoner. How intriguing. The ancient Crown Mage were certainly nobles. Perhaps he is also of noble blood. I don't think so. I never knew my parents. Ignore them. I haven't got a drop of noble blood in me either. One look at him was all I needed to know. Bro, I'm about to kick your ass just for that alone. Are you serious? Why the hell you get Consequent right away? And you have Exalted Element too. Oh, fuck. Oh, what do I get? Timaeus now. Swap cards in your hand with random cards from your opponent. Well, I must say that is a very interesting thing to consider. Sure, why not? I'll swap first, then have them discard. Oh, interesting. Double Divine Favor. So they had only spells. Well, I guess this technically works in my favor then. Who else can you summon? Or you just put shit in their circles, alright. You have double healing points. Oh my god. Well, technically, I guess I'm at the disadvantage now. It would be wise to respect my opinion unless you want to be the nobleman who enraged Herklaus. Well, we don't want that. We have no reason to upset Guardian of the Holy Capital, Herklaus, now do we? Certainly, but does that mean we need to listen to an uneducated commoner? I may not be a noble, but I am a crown mage. I can assure you of my knowledge and literacy from my time at the academy. If he takes my cards, I'm gonna prank this fool by giving him, well. I'm pulling various out of him. Money. Oh, absolutely take it from Makaki. He wants to swap cards, you'll have to work for it. Also, I don't know why he's swapping 1 for 2. I would think anything above that would be worthwhile. The boy who sits is literate and well educated, and perhaps we should entertain him. Crown Mage, how do you answer this? He was standing alone once when I passed below this hall with hasty steps. If you do not learn the oaths, you will not be fit to converse with. He does seem to be possessed of some intelligence after all, but he interrupted me before I finished. He also gave you the correct answer. Oh? And it's motherfucker. Why are you disadvantaged? Well, this is shit. Any follower of the clergy could memorize the Holy Archives, but do you understand its meaning? As it is said, you will not learn. If you do not learn the oaths, you will not be fit to converse with. Now listen to me. With pleased sounds, the deer calls out to one another, eating the celery of the fields. I have here admirable guests. The lutes are struck and the organ is blown. See? He may be educated, but that doesn't mean we're going to discuss house matters with him. How welcoming of you. Are you fucking serious? Oh my fuck's sake. Well, I can't do shit. He really did that. Oh, finally. Thank you. Well, since you're gonna do that, I'm gonna take your energy for free. Everything is coming up now. Should I trade 1 for 2? I'll hold off. It is not the time or the place to discuss the rebels, but I will hear no more of it. The cock has already crowed, and crowed since thy court had found. What? Nay, that was no crowning of cocks. 'Twas the blue flies humming around. You dare to call me a fly, do you? You will not be fit to converse with. What? I believe you must respond to him with the oath, my friend. Huh. There it is. That was what I was looking for. Oh. Tamayo's does healing. Interesting. Let's see what we get. 2 spells. Oh my god. I'd rather have my old hand. Well, it doesn't matter. I win anyways. Unless I do a generational fumble, which definitely is probably not gonna happen, I hope. Oh, absolutely. Give me this good stuff. her possible. Engulfed in holy light, Mokaki cannot use their abilities. Yeah! How fitting that in both fights we had various win. I believe my summoners has earned your respect. Huh. In the most entertaining fashion at that. Yeah, I'm glad we can talk normally. Ah yes, burning virtue. I have a lot of riveting. That's the richest conversation I've had in far too long. As you're so interested, I happen to know that the rebel army is most upset with Lord Marcellus. Who's Lord Marcellus? Why, Timaeo's dear uncle, the proper ruler of the border territories. Timaeus, from the House of Lords? The very same. One of the rumors going around is that within the rebels' conditions they call for the punishment of Lord Marcellus for provincial mismanagement. It's implied that he may have starved, neglected, and extorted the people. If that is the truth, who's to say he's only threatening peasants? The strong nobleman expression distorts. Tread lightly. When you going on about how commonplace cowardice is? Don't you dare call me a coward. And I should hope you're not afraid, considering the allegations you're presenting. Oh, I'm plenty afraid, but I have little to lose, no matter the outcome. Be it rebels coming for my head, if they take the city or my father's lands withering to a crisp. No safe options for me, not a one. The gaunt nobleman takes a slurp of his soup, as if at ease with his poison, before regarding Vitus with his sullen dark eyes. I hope by now you understand why so many of us greet you with silence, knowing that you will bring up a compromise with the House of Commons. Just one account of many, I'm afraid. Does anybody else have something to add? So quiet Vitus swears he can hear his own heart pounding. Well then, I suppose that will be all. Thank you. Let's go, Harklaus. As they leave, the senator's gaze sends shivers down Vitus' spine. Vitus, Valises, and the heroes ask questions throughout the night until the conclusion of the banquet. Upon returning to the state, they conclude that there was still little chance to turn things around. Even within each house, the house members all have their own agenda. What can we do to change enough minds now? We certainly don't have time to deal with each house member individually. Never mind the ones I suspect were hiding their true reasons. That is why our government needs a strong central leader to unify society. When too many people are left to their own devices, it always leads to an unfocused mess and then a dysfunctional disaster. Mean like the exact system they have in place now? What's that dictator of theirs doing exactly? Sounds like he's spending more time collecting his harem than running his republic. Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? That's why I said a strong leader was needed. These people lack one. And who exactly is a strong leader supposed to be? Let me guess. You? That's besides the point. Virtues must be upheld by someone, whether it be a central leader in society or those house members themselves. Of course, it's more realistic to have one person hold others accountable than it is for all people to be virtuous. You just want some fantasy where you get to decide what is right and wrong. In the real world, everyone believes they're doing good. They can't all be virtuous. So you think it's a good thing for this republic to be governed by such self-serving people? Better than a bunch of sheep who just do what they're told. Well, it's always nice to have someone you can trust to make the right decisions. I miss the time when we did. We could do things that I didn't think were possible. Some of them wondrous, some of them terrible. While I care a little for politics, I find that Makari Hari's way of doing things can be too direct. Keeping things direct can sometimes be the best thing to do. It avoids conflict and it avoids a great deal of pain. My death was not without conflict or pain, far from it. But that doesn't mean I disagree with what Makari Hari said, or did. While I'm sorry for what happened, it doesn't change my position. Huh? See, your ideas really are miserable. Some conflict is inevitable, but you just allow conflict for no reason. That's because people have the right to fight for what they want in life. I don't want to be rude, but we have our own problems to deal with right now. If you two aren't going to be helpful, could you just go scurry off into another room? Sulking demiurgers take their leaf in different directions. You should show the demiurgers more respect, Vitus. They're divine beings, not children. One's capable of things we have no understanding of. I wouldn't think of them so highly. Maturity has never been their strong point. They may have great wisdom, but their manners could use some work. I think some humility would do them good. More than some, but I agree. I'll be sure to make it up to them later. Right now, we just need to figure out how to solve this stalemate so we don't end up on a crucifix in court. I just hope we see Sulpicius, or at least hear back from Cairo soon. The miracle. The following day, the crown mages discuss methods to persuade the house members. Some involving magic, others involving bribery and force, not that either would be good for their public image. They find themselves mentally exhausted and grasping at straws when a familiar face shows up at the door. Well, well, well. Fair winds, my friends. Huh? What? Who? What? Where? You're both looking worse for wear. But I know what might cheer you up. I managed to push your arbitration back 2 weeks. You did? That's some small comfort. You're incredible, Kairos. Hey, no praise needed here. I'm making use of the resources I have. The way things are going, we're going to need all the time we can get. And that time will certainly come. I'm sure you have plenty to do before then. Plenty and then some. You've been a massive help, Kairos. We've been trying to gain the support of both houses, but the members are reluctant to mention what they want, or even talk to us for that matter. Even if they did, convincing a majority rule would be quite the feat. Are you two genuinely trying to influence the minds of hundreds of people? Well, yeah. Are you supposed to do that when you petition the government? Sure, if you got time to build a campaign. Well, do you have any ideas on how to approach this? Nothing illegal, please. The thinness of the hyena gang steps out from behind Kairos. I've got some ideas. What did I just say? Look, doing something illegal because it was right got us into this mess. Don't all those people call you messengers of the Lord? Well, sure, but I wish they wouldn't. Though it's sort of true. We're not prophets, we can just hear them. Why don't you just tell them what to do? That's what religion is for, yeah? Vitus chuckles. They aren't gonna do what we say just because we're messengers of the Lord. They already know that, and yet they turn their head the other way. If telling them what to do was so easy, then we wouldn't be discussing this. Would it be different if we got the support of the clergy? You remember what happened back in Iranipolis? There are different powers in play when people interact with faith. How do you feel about that, Lord Makari Hari? I would say that the house members are neglecting to follow my teachings, but it is difficult to change minds unless you give people good reason to change. I'm afraid that only a miracle could so quickly restore the people's faith in me. Then we can perform a miracle in front of the house members to gain their trust. Sounds like a good idea to me. Perhaps it is. But I wish to say something to Vitus before we continue. What might that be? I did not realize how confused I was before arriving in the capital. I have not been following my own doctrine. My bickering caused problems and hindered our success thus far. Such mistakes are becoming of my character, and for that I must apologize. Hey now, you can't just act like everything is all about you. I have noble intentions. Nobody's buying your shitty act. You're just trying to manipulate the crown mages again, aren't you? No. No more bickering. Bickering, huh? Vitus? Felicis, your time doesn't deserve to be wasted. I shall tell you what you need to know about performing a miracle. Oh, sure. That's pretty nice of you, Makari Hari. I'm eager to learn more. Hey, wait a minute. I know what to do too. You can learn from me. To manifest a miracle, you need a statue of my likeness and enough house members to believe my doctrine to make it work. False believers won't do. In that case, we'll need to figure out how many house members practice your doctrine regularly. Perhaps the clergy at the temple will be able to tell us. And we even know a man on the inside now. Oh. Him. Zergly grabbed his face. Not him! He doesn't bother me so much. I can do the talking. Thank you. You both are being too dramatic. We just need to ask a question. I don't believe I'll be able to manage my temper so well if I have to listen to him speak for long. You have a temper? You have no idea, Herr Klaus. Oh. The crown mages and their companions leave out the front door of the estate. Hey, what's the big idea? Why does everyone treat me like I'm the bad guy? Well, you are a demon, aren't you? Fine. I don't have to argue as much either. They'll pay attention to me when they see for themselves that I'm right. Hey! Wait up, everybody! Oh, dude. They walk through the hanging vines and refreshing mist as they make their way to the temple district. They take refuge from the scorching sun in the cool, dark chamber of the temple, a great statue of Makari Hari staring down at them. Bukaki glares up at the statue. You aren't really that big. It's just a statue. Not like I was around to tell them my proportions. Frankly, I cannot stand idolatry. Reverence for any individual only distracts from their teachings. You always say that, but you never stop them. And here comes your high priest, Crown Magus. Not the dog again. Oh, high priest waddling in between a group of acolytes when he locks eyes with Vitus. Oh ho ho! Back so soon? It seems. I should have expected that the messengers of the great Makari Hari would not be gone for long. We're here because we need to talk about a spiritual mission. You're always on a spiritual mission, young Crown Mage, but hearing you say so is music to my droopy ears. Vitus notices Circle shaking and grabs his sleeve. Valisas notices this and clears his throat. I'm glad because you're the person who can help us the most. But me? Well, I'm flattered, of course, but you don't need to worry yourself. We just want information. High Priest wipes his brow. That is something I have plenty off. What do you need to know? We want to know if many of the house members are devout followers of the clergy. Tricky. Many senators from the House of Lords meditate and attend services here. If they're truly devout, no one can know but themselves. The councillors from the House of Commons appear less pious on the whole. If one were to gauge piety by attendance, of course. But such a difference in attendance is usual when comparing nobles and commoners. Valises leans to whisper in Vitas' ear. So that means House of Lords are likely more faithful on the whole. Right, but we need more commitment from both houses. It's no good if the councillors of the House of Commons aren't faithful. They lean out of the huddle to address the High Priest. I have another question. Suppose we wish to perform miracles for the council members in these very halls. How easy would it be to organize it for today? Oh! If enough senators are in attendance, I believe the rest of the House of Lords will not refuse the invitation. That should be easy enough based on what you've told us. Aha! Then what about the House of Commons? The Tribune? What's he doing here? I heard about the difficult time you had at the banquet. Naturally, I felt a little guilty. And well, a little concerned as many of my fellow councillors seem to be on your side. If I remember correctly, you weren't exactly helpful at the banquet. Ha! Then allow me to be helpful now. I would like to talk to Paragon Circles in private. Me? Why me? That's a good question. Why him? Among the heroes, Circles is a symbol of hope to the common man. His stories tell of how he healed and fed the masses in their darkest hour. Much more practical to the needs of common interest than, well, stories about noble wars. Or secrets in the stars. Or scams. I don't deal in scams. I deal in trades with risks. Scams. I assure you, Circles is the hero the people wish to see above all others. I don't know about that. Go ahead, Circles. If Regulus wishes to help us, then we should respect his request. Thank you for your graciousness, Crown Mage. Circles exchanges an uncertain glance with Vitus and Valises as he's pulled away. Crown Mages lower their voices. I think he's up to something. Obviously. But we need the support of the House of Commons if we want to get anything done, don't we? Sure. I just don't want to play into his agenda. It's a boon for us if we can get the councillors to attend the performance. We just need raw manpower. We should already be able to count on the senators. No matter his goals, we're still in an advantage. Regulus returns with a nervous Circles in tow. You come to terms. Have you now? So as long as Circles is the one leading the miracle, I will bring as many of my fellow councillors as I can manage. He's performed such feats in the past, so it wouldn't be much issue. I'm glad you're a reasonable lad. I'll bring a company of citizens and councillors to the temple by sundown to see this act. Thank you once again, my friends. The Tribune trots off, leaving the Crown Mages and heroes alone. This is happening awfully fast. I suppose we'll have to spread work among the senators ourselves. Leave that to me. Kairos? If anybody can sniff out Timaeus in a pinch, it'll be me. He holds a lot of sway among the House of Lords and could convince many to come to the temple. But on such short notice? As soon as he gets winds of a show starring Regulus, he won't take much convincing. The fox winks. I'll make sure he'll be here, alright? Saved us once again. Don't sweat it. It's hardly a favor if it helps you to stay in good graces with the council. I'd rather my noble head doesn't end up on spike. Oh, I don't relish that thought. Fair point. Later, then. Oh, God. Can't get that image out of my mind now. Oh. Fox scampers away. Well then, we don't have a lot of time. What miracle will Circles perform? I don't like how casually you put that. What do you mean? Miracles aren't so cheap. Performing a genuine miracle that will shake men to their core will cost a lot of energy. Why is that an issue? Don't you have enough energy? I thought that was obvious. Then explain yourself. If we're going to do this, we need to understand how it works. As magical energy is amplified by life, divine energy is amplified by belief. Either way, that power has to be yanked from somewhere. Then why are you so reluctant to use your powers? Weren't you listening? I can't risk performing a miracle that would drain my power. What about you, Mukaki? Yeah, nah. Why would I waste my power while he keeps all of his? I thought you were deities. Weakened deities. If I used too much power, I could lose consciousness. Perhaps for years. Then we'd really be in trouble. Alright, fine. A single miracle may be all that we can manage. And we'll need to be certain enough house members are around to pull it off. What kind of miracle? Why not let Circles think one up? After all, he's the one commoners love so dearly. Envy isn't a flattering look. So you're not bothered that people think you're boring? Of course the average person doesn't find me interesting, because my interests are anything but average. Unless one suddenly develops the habit of reading archaic rituals or deconstructing runic artifacts all day long. Zermes makes a stroking motion in the air. Boring! Better be boring than seen as a symbol of vanity. Now that's not fair. Are you alright, Hercules? A weapon is a weapon, but be it thrown by the arm or spat from the tongue, they'll have to try harder if they want me to bleed. Don't be so dramatic. They merely said that they prefer that soft, sensible man to the rest of us rogues. Don't lump us in with you. What do you say, my sweet Circles? What miracle will you perform to save the day? Well, I could heal the sick. Any illness, really. That's nothing surprising. They already know you can heal the sick. Your legends speak great volumes of your expertise. Healing an incurable disease may not be seen as a miracle. But are you sure? Believe me, I've heard what the senators and councilors say about you. Okay then. What if you brought a dead man back to life? What? It's a lot of idea for once. I've talked at length with nobles who practice magic. Not only do they believe resurrection spells are impossible, but study of his field is forbidden. You're right. Makari Hari mentioned before that Circles could bring a dead man back to life. Well, Circles, is this true? I suppose it is. That's perfect. There will be no questioning our authority as Makari Haris and messengers if Circles brings someone back to life. Then we must get started. It will be sundown before you know it, and the temple must be prepared for such an extraordinary circumstance. High Priest lists off a series of chores that they all have no choice but to take part in. Fabrics must be hung, the pews must be cleaned, and wood must be prepared for the scones. Oh, so very busy we will be for the Lord. He's got that Anya Kihi face again. Vitas leaves to grab some wood down a nearby hall. You see Circles approach for a moment before the High Priest hands the bear a pile of linen and hurries him in a different direction. Finding the bear's expression strange, Vitas tries to go after him. Circles? Where'd you go? Circles? Gah! Suddenly, Vitas bumps into one of the acolytes. Before he can protest, the man drags him away to help carry wood for the censers. Aye. It's not long before a crowd forms within the temple. Vitas looks for the bear among the black, red, and violet attire of the councilors and senators. A miracle, you've come to see a miracle. A man shall be raised from the dead. What trick is this? No trick unless they've lost all their senses. We're either going to see something incredible or the biggest embarrassment of this aeon. Can't wait to see the look at their faces when we pull this off. Having finished his task with Circles nowhere in sight, Vitus returns to the entrance of the temple. It's not long before the High Priest sees this and guides the Crown Mage to a freshly erected stage. This is interesting. Why is his feet so big? Wow. Not bad, eh? My man got the biggest feet. Sorry, rehydration. Welcome all, children of Makarihari, to this sacred ground. Sorry. Tonight we will experience something we have never seen before. Professional YouTuber, by the way. The miracle of resurrection, guided by the messengers of Makarihari and Paragon Circles. Looks to be a few dozen people in the audience. I was hoping for more. Do you think it'll be enough? I hope so. Messengers, Vitus and Valises, will guide us through the ritual now and change our lives forevermore. Oh. Hello everyone. The audience remains very quiet. A few people cross their arms. The ritual performed today will be as strong as our collective faith in Makarihari. We need as much help as possible for a mere chance that this miracle can succeed. I request those who wish to join us approach the stage. Some exchange skeptical glances, but at least half of the audience volunteers come forth. Next, we need a man who has recently died. My father. A man with a wooden wheelbarrow shuffles forward. A loud shroud is draped over what looks to be a body. He was working on the roof today. Slipped. Oh, that's a dead body. It certainly is. The priest told him to bring one. Valises contemplates for a moment. There may be more out in the audience. Valises feels the fur on the back of his neck stand up. You say that as if you haven't actually fought in a war. Now we just need Circles. Where is he, anyways? Psst. Vitus hears a noise behind him. He hears the noise again, then turns to look around. Oh, there you are. What's taking so long? I cannot revive that man. What? I can only resuscitate someone within 300 heartbeats of their passing. Anything beyond that is impossible for me. We already claimed that we bring somebody back from the dead. We never specified any conditions. I tried to tell you, but everything got so very busy and I didn't find you in time. You didn't think that detail would be important? I was hoping that there would be no corpse available on such short notice. Then we'd have to make a corpse. Then I would have actually been able to revive them. This is bad. What are we gonna do now? Hit this? Paragon Circles? This is music. Paragon Circles is here, everyone. We can begin. Oh dear. Listen, Circles. Just go along with it. If enough people have faith in Makarihari, then the miracle might work. Okay. Alright. I'll take a few deep breaths and... People are waiting for you, Paragon Circles. Please, guide them. Guide them and bring this person's father back from the dead. Well, hello all of you. Circles begins to sweat. Big man. Big man! Right then. First, we should link arms before a statue. Now bow your heads. Clear your thoughts of death, of war, and pain. Oh wow. Think of a brilliantly cloudless sky. No planets, no stars. Just a vast expanse of bright light. And you. And everyone. Feel hope, safety, and solace in one another and all things around you. And bathe in the presence of sacred life. Look upon this man now and breathe Makarihari's life into him, all at once. Inhale. Exhale. The room is filled with comfortable silences. And a sense of warmth overcomes the followers as if enveloped by a magical aura. The big man's clothes begin to rustle. But then light leaves the room. Then silence continues for too long. Yeah. Does the man live? He's still decomposing. The miracle failed? Of course it did. These men are con artists after all. And murderers. Now, everyone. Holy Archive 321 thinks that our past it is needless to blame. This is getting ugly. Ukaki, Makarihari, please help us. We need a genuine miracle right now. I am not one to meddle in people's affairs, but rather guide them towards the right path. That goes for me too. I support people doing what they want to do, but don't try to rely on me. But we need you just this once. I'm sorry. No can do. If everyone turns against us, Valises and I will be in danger. This is so fucked up. I have to think. From now on, I'll solely support the deity who lends me his power for this miracle. I kinda like that, actually. I remember reading this and I was like, oh dude, that is so fucking metal to manipulate them. I will become their follower and theirs alone. What? You aren't serious. I'll do it if I have to. You're putting us at risk. I'll risk exhausting your powers for another eon over being executed for heresy. What would you do without us anyways? Very well. Makarihari reaches towards the sky. Lightning crackles about him, filling his eyes with a golden glow. Bastard! Dark miasma swirls around Mukaki. Flames lash fiercely as he raises his arm in tandem. The Emir just cast their power towards Circles, who become enveloped in dark and light. The body falls out of real battle, writhing and spasming. Cloudy rheum excretes from the eyes as it arches its back and gasps out an unnatural breath. Color returns to the steel cold flesh. It moans and twists, not unlike a newborn. The audience unable to look away in deathly silence. They did it. A trick. It must be a trick. The commoner falls to their knees, crying out the name of their father. The man responds in turn. Where am I? Where have I been? You died, father. I was there to see it. The messengers of the Lord have brought you back with a miracle. What happens next is a rush of motion and chaos, with senator and counselor alike clamoring to see Vitas, Valises, and Circles, all begging for perfect health and the return of their loved ones. Tears of joy and shouts of elation ring out as bodies overwhelm the stage. Wait. Is it alive bodies or dead bodies? Because one of those things is okay and the others is incredibly fucked up. Herklaus and the acolytes spend time calming everybody down, corralling them to approach the crown mages and Circles in an orderly fashion. But news of the miracle soon spreads throughout the city streets and worshippers begin to flood the temple. Your miracles certainly work, crown mages, but what am I supposed to do with all these people? Perform your duties as a priest and guide them. Guide them in what? We don't exactly have a precedent for preaching about miracles. Well, certain deities made this possible. Let me consult them. Them? Him. I will be a moment. Makarihari? Mukaki? Vitas, you seem unconscious. Yes. That took up a great deal of our energy. Luckily that you had some of my energy to rely on then. Don't start. Well, you both held up your end of the bargain, so I'll hold up mine. It's my turn to promote your doctrine. The High Priest wants to know what to tell the worshippers about your miracles. Circles must insist that such a feat will never happen again under ordinary circumstances, and that people should take my teachings to heart. First, they should mind their thoughts, their words, and their actions. Then they should rely upon their own strength and take care of their bodies, not rely upon magic to solve their problems. In fact, commoners should not be taught magic at all. It's dangerous and reckless. Even scholars and the nobility face difficulty controlling it safely. Today was an example of exactly that. Misconceptions about magic can lead to irreparable mistakes that only the Lord can save. I can't believe you're trying to do this again. Then what do you suggest, Mukaki? As you both answer my call, I will represent one of your positions, and Valises will represent the other, but only if you continue to present clearly and without interrupting one another. Fine. You don't need to tell people that miracles are scarce. Miracles attract followers, and the more people who believe in us, the more miracles we can perform. Saying otherwise is like stepping on your own foot. Teaching the clergy acolytes the lost art of healing magic. You could practically eliminate injury and sickness with little effort, and the clergy would look great doing it. If a tool exists, people should be able to use it. That's all. Got it? Do you have a counter argument, Makari Hari? I believe that reliance on magic will turn into selfishness. When people do not overcome struggle, they often forget the struggle others go through. That can make them selfish, cruel, and obsessed with vanity. Yeah, like fucking Oro... Like fucking the Legatus Oro, right? I want the people to develop character through thoughtfulness, cooperation, and focusing on their physical health. People don't always want to choose what's good for them, like exercising or practicing temperance. Some elements of discipline must be enforced in society. He says as I have a fucking 1.5 liter bottle of Coke to quench my thirst as I read the fucking visual novel. You look like you have something to say, Mukaki. There's really one thing that pisses me off, and that's putting someone in a cage just because there's a chance they hurt themselves. Depriving someone of their freedom for their benefit is pointless. Possibilities you've never thought about will just replace your old fears eventually. If people want to live a life of discipline, they should have the right to choose that life. Let people find out what's best for themselves. Even if they live a horrible, awful life, they still got to choose it. Mistakes don't necessarily make your life worse. They give you a chance to realize where you went wrong and stop you from making bigger ones. So that's how you think. Thank you. I'm confident I can convey either of your doctrines to the High Priest. Really? Vit disposed valises over the side of the hall. Both of the demiurgers have merit to their philosophies, but I worry our choice may carry more weight than we expect. In what way? How many recorded miracles have happened in our lifetime? Or the lifetime of our ancestors, for that matter? Just something to think about. In any case, I can't decide right away, so you should pick first. Got it. Downplay or promote miracles. Well, okay, the way I see it, personally, is that miracles are called miracles because they don't happen often, right? It is something that is unexpected. So if you promote miracles and they happen often, then it wouldn't really be considered a miracle anymore. It would just be considered everyday life. After what happened today, I feel Makari Hari is right. I don't agree with everything he said, but we still have a decision to make. Here we go again. Cavaliers releases to promote Makari Hari's doctrine to the people. Yeah, because, like, it's called a miracle, right? We shouldn't be performing them every single fucking day, because then it's not a miracle anymore. Crown Mages, the people are expecting me to say something. Please share the Lord's word of the miracle and the magic demonstrated today. And here we are, the bearers of the Lord's guidance in desperate times, deciding if the clergy should endorse miracles, and whether to promote healing magic to the acolytes. It's about giving the people the freedom to use the tools they are given. No, it's about keeping people off unnecessary danger. We should start before this gets out of hand. Agreed. Is that exalted We're on equal footing. Why is he here? I have Regulus Temai. I have both? Wow, it's almost like a full deck card now. Let's grab Mr. Circles. Yeah, no, cause I mean, you know, teaching magic is dangerous. I would assume. Today was a close call because we didn't understand the magic involved, and most people aren't able to ask for divine intervention to solve their problems. That's only because we didn't talk to Circles either. Might we have spent more time learning about the magic beforehand, that wouldn't have happened. But it happened anyway. Only because we took the magic involved for granted. I got another exalted element? If he's gonna swap cards with me, I swear to Buddha. My other exalted element. Oh. And he knows all his cards. He's gonna get rid of all of them for me. No! He's gonna... Alright, what can I get rid of? I'll get rid of Consecrate, I guess. Oh, he, he. Oh, give me the exalted element. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Just give it. Yes! Yes! Oh my god. If we promote magic and miracles, there's a good chance others will try and replicate them. There's no telling how many people might try wild and unpredictable magic they're not ready to handle. There could be countless regrets. The proliferation of healing magic could save countless lives. Perhaps with a few skilled enough to control it without making mistakes. Not everyone is as talented as the Paragon here. Isn't that right, sir, please? Well, the concept behind healing magic is simple, but it is not so simple to cure the body. Once I healed a puncture wound in a patient's chest just to find that they were still unable to breathe. At the time, I didn't understand the structure of the trachea, so instead I had to... Thank you, but we don't have time for dissertation right now, sir, please. Holy shit, I can't believe I actually managed to get the fucking exalted element. I don't believe it. That is... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm in shock, quite honestly. I did not think that what I asked for would have come to pass. Why is a priest attacking me? That's what I want to know. These are all problems that can be solved with knowledge. Knowledge that cannot be gained if people cannot learn freely. No matter our decision, some sacrifices involved. So the people who suffer without healing magic aren't sacrifices? Are you suggesting we should quantify lives in order to decide what's right? If there's no other criteria, perhaps I am. You consecrating bitch. Alright. This should go nicely in our favor. Actually, if I swap the cards with him, I could have very realistically just... What the hell? This motherfucker had all spells? Oh my god. Well, as long as he doesn't draw. Well, actually, if he uses Regulus right now, he could actually get rid of 2 of my blues. Did he really? Okay. Sure thing. All of that just to gain more cards and leave him with fucking nothing. Should be able to win, right? Okay, then fuck, I guess. I ain't getting rid of all my cards just yet. Of course, you bitch. Okay. I still cannot fathom my ability to just wish for the exalted element and then just get it. Alright, well, we can't win with Circles. That's the final blow. So we are gonna win with Various every single time in this, so what we did was reckless. I don't want to set the expectation of others to follow our example, even if it means giving up the chance to save someone. Would you give up a war to save a wounded soldier? That is actually a very good point. Think about saving Private Ryan, right? How many people could have been saved? How many people died just to save him? I mean, I don't know how much would be sacrificed by our choices, but I do know that it isn't right to let others make the same mistakes. And I believe that magic and medicine can advance with our intervention here and now. If those are your final thoughts, then I believe you, Vitus. Burning virtue, baby. 50 mementos. We will tell the High Priest that magic and miracles should not be taken for granted and that the people should rely upon their own strength. Sorry, I had a sneezing fit. You must think you're doing good, huh? No matter how you shelter society, some people will be determined to break those chains. Forget it. You'll see for yourself in time. At the very least, it's likely the House of Commons will demonstrate more piety. But we'll need to do more work at the temple before we can influence their thoughts on the war. Progress is progress. Even if it means we have to deal with that high priest for a while longer. That is it, isn't it? That's what it is. Oh, paradise. I cannot believe it. I forgot to seal the chamber doors last night. Acolyte Arthur? That is very unlike you. You usually serve the Lord very diligently. Something must have come over me. Please, will this transgression be forgiven? Worry not, this is a time of forgiveness, for Circles and Lord Makarihari have graced this temple with their miracle. Now back to your duties. All must be flawless for moral sermons. These runic carvings look awfully in need of a good dusting. Runic carvings? The crown may just spend the next few days in the temple, spreading the Lord's doctrine while feeding into the story of the man who was brought back to life. People come from far and wide to meet the Paragon Circles and the Lord's messengers, each filled with hope and curiosity. But the crown majors are surprised to find Senator Tamayo's making a personal visit. The messengers of the Lord, please hear me. There's no need to shout. And please call us Vitas and Valises. Ah, forgive my rudeness. I heard about the remarkable miracle you performed. It was astonishing to hear that the dead man was brought back to life, but far more astonishing to have Regulus take credit for performing the miracle you would perform. He didn't pick the miracle, he just asked for Circles to perform it. So you admitted you granted him favor. Valises jabs Vitas in his elbow. Ow! It's more of a trade than a show of favor. Then it would not be fair that I asked for the same. No! No, 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 no! What's the point of downplaying miracles? What do you ask then? Why don't you lend me a hero to perform a miracle? Well, it's not that simple. I don't know what the miracle would be or who would perform it. Then I will pick for you. Certainly the great and noble Herklaus would be an excellent hero to perform a miracle. How kind of you. I accept, of course. Hold on now. Isn't this all happening a bit quickly? Very quickly. We never agreed to a miracle to begin with. Correct me if I'm wrong, kid, but weren't you the one to agree to the idea of performing miracles in the first place? We all thought you wanted this. We? Myself and the other heroes. Right, everyone? Pretty much. Fine. If I have to. All of you really think that? We never intended to force you that. Force any of you. Besides, I'd rather avoid relying upon the demiurges again. We don't have to involve the demiurges. If you want me to perform any feat, I would completely support your decision with my mind, body, and soul. Ugh, okay. Should we agree to this, Valises? Valises hums and holds its chin. The bottom line is that we came here to gain the support of the house members. If we must continue putting on a show to please them, then so be it. Wonderful. Allow me a day to help Herklaus prepare. You won't regret this. The senator takes Herklaus away with him, leaving the crown majors a little stunned. For some reason, I think I already do. I hope he'll be okay. I don't like this. Weren't we just talking about downplaying miracles? Following day, Tamayo's returns with Herklaus, having discussed the miracle he performed. On the day of Herklaus' divine act, the temple was much more crowded than last time. Why is the music where we're in trouble happen? Excited people look towards the stage, speaking to one another in hushed whispers. Herklaus addresses the audience with an ordinary spear within his grasp. Take a look behind you, to the red heart posted nearly 100 paces away from the stage. I'll pierce that heart by throwing my spear with little to no effort. Observe. Herklaus throws a spear which lodges itself into the sandbag with a loud twanging sound. Stellar hit. As the audience claps politely, their excited whispers turn into ones of confusion. Isn't that a bit ordinary? I thought they brought a man back from the dead last time. This is rather unimpressive. Demiurgers, do two of you have any ideas? Throw a spear. Pretend the target is that leg at the set. Because throws a spear with divine precision, perfectly splitting the first one in half. Pass me another. Does it give the same result? The audience hollers. Another. Really? He does it another 10 consecutive times, the final spear breaking the target apart and lodging into a wall. The audience roars. He's God himself. I have to touch him. Some of his heroic physique might rub off on us. Oi! Back in line, no standing in the aisle. No touching, only looking. No, you keep away. By the gods, they're insatiable. Vitas watches nervously as the thinnest hyena hovers his paw above his sheathed dagger. They better not cause a scene in the temple. You've got bigger things to worry about, Crown Mage. We expect to be fairly compensated. We didn't ask. That means you must place your undivided faith behind one of us. Exactly. I never asked either of you to use your powers. Even if I did, both of you help Herklaus. I have no reason to favor one of you over the other. You're ripping us off. I have to agree. It's only right that you repay our devotion in kind. He's becoming just like Xermes. Hey now, that's going a bit far. You three, pay attention to the audience. If Herklaus was in our army, we could defeat the rebels. I have to join the army now. I have to be a hero like her. Okay, slow down there, buckaroo. What desperation. Quite awful. It's far from awful. They're so full of spirit, like a roar of determination. Makes me feel like I didn't even lose energy helping Herklaus with that miracle. So that's the power belief grants you? Valises cups his chin and thinks for a moment. If you want something from the both of us, then tell us how we should channel the faith of these people. State your positions, and the one who wins us over will surely gain plenty of energy. Very well then. These people should return home and reflect upon what they saw today. May it give them hope for tomorrow. For when tomorrow comes, if they still wish to fight, they can join the army with clear hearts and minds and hearts. But they want to fight now, to take action. The army isn't going to be doing anything about the rebels anytime soon. I'm sure there's plenty of nobles who would be willing to fund a private militia. Might force the House of Lords into taking action. Madness. The most important thing to the people is the stability of the capital. To entice further discourse between the populace and the government would become a disastrous long-term blunder in sowing the seeds of chaos. The senators will capitalize on this, and the balance of power within the government itself could change. Well, the whole reason we're here is to force change, isn't it? What better way to cause change than inspire men to want it? Makari Hari thinks that those men will fall under the House of Lords' influence, but they're clearly devoted to Herklaus. So they expect a force for Vitas and Valises, and by extension that will be a force for me. Besides, you can always ask that Senator Timaeus to keep things under control. Let the people choose for themselves. Want to say something, Makari Hari? Only this. Are you really giving such driven people a fair choice? Someone may light a fire to see in the dark, only to miss the kindling surrounding them. A gift of light and warmth also takes a burning toll. Do you call it freedom when one cannot see the choice they are making? I call it irresponsible. Then there we have it. Another awfully troubling decision. And you have to pick a side. The audience won't be calming down anytime soon otherwise. Vitas shift their gaze between the demiurges. Well, you know, as someone who was forced into the military, I wouldn't say getting hype EU is the perfect moment to join the military. It's something that you need to deliberate a lot about. I actually remember this. Well, okay, so a little bit of a deviation here. I remember I was on my way to quitting my job at the hospital because I quite frankly wasn't cut out for it, and the conditions were not in my favor to always to keep in that job long term. I just couldn't get into the swing of things, but that's not important. I was pulled aside during one while I was attending, and thankfully they let me go because, I mean, apparently they didn't really care that I wasn't working or something. But I basically got into this call from one of my friends, and they were convincing me they were telling me to convince someone to not join the military. That man was very, very insistent on joining the military because he wanted to do good. But then I also later found out that he had a very worrying list of issues that would deem him completely unfit for the military, and but he kept trying to downplay all of them in every single way possible. And I was telling him about all my personal experiences within the military and how I was forced into it. I get that he was very excited and really, really wanted to join the military, but I just recommended him against it because the position that he was holding wasn't, or well, any position in the military is not something that you should take lightly. Every single decision that you make in the military, if assuming actual active duty, unlike mine, can and will likely cost someone's life. And the position that he was in could potentially cost someone's life. And the fact that he has stated that he can have mental breakdowns was concerning enough for me as is already. And unfortunately, the words fell on deaf ears. He didn't. He ended up trying to join the military, but thankfully for him, he got rejected. So all to say was that, um, you can get excited for joining the military, but and stuff like that. But most people will assure you that it's not exactly what it is hammed up to be. Sure, there's a sense of pride and belonging, and it's probably one of the easiest things that you can do out there, unless you're like an officer where you have to do strategic planning and stuff. But if you're just a trooper, all you have to do is follow orders, and that was probably the easiest part of my life. That was also the unhappiest part of my life as well. So these people in the story, they're just trying to rush towards it. I do not like the idea of them rushing in to sign up just because they witnessed this miracle, and now they want to see and now they want to be like Herklaus, because there is no one like Herklaus. He's a legend for a reason. I would not, even if this is just a fictional story, I would not like the idea of sending someone in, or telling people to go and join up for the military only to have them regret it later. That's why I picked for them to reflect. If they have thought about it and they still want to sign up, then sure, they can sign up, no problem. But if you are capitalizing off of their excitement, then that's just exploitation. So that's my stance. Anyways, back to the story. I think we should follow Makari Hari and ask the people to reflect upon what they experienced today. Would I really achieve anything? I think Bukaki has a good point. We should be taking advantage of this situation. Then how about we begin our debate? Of course. I wonder how similar, because I don't remember all of the specific dialogue, because it's been a while since I played it. It's actually been almost a month since I played this, so I barely remember any of the stuff. Which is why you still see me acting surprised, even though I know the story. The only reason I remember all the characters is because all the characters are part of the non-story trial. So I see them and memorize their card effects. So I didn't expect the people of the capital to be so motivated. I thought they would prefer to hide behind the walls to protest the rebels. Fairly sure Herklaus' miracle is the cause of that. For they express hopes for glory, I doubt they realize how brutal war really is. Are you implying they'll get hurt? Nothing like that. What matters to us is how we make use of the situation. Even if these people join the war, they're just inexperienced recruits, in which case they may train, but they won't end up in their make-believe battles for glory. It makes me feel better about all of this. Of course, so you better take this seriously. I don't want to concentrate. I should have taken Consecrate, motherfucker! And he gets an Exalted Element right out the gate. Why can I not summon, Oh. Oh. Oh! Oh, oh. I am interested. You have him, you bitch. Aye! As you said, they're all swept up in the moment after Hercules' miracle. They don't need to join the army or some private militia for that matter. What matters is that our hearts were changed today. But we could use them to put more pressure upon the council. The council must be swayed one way or another, or the other, if those people are to be protected from harm. Alright, I need a save energy to... Did you really... You motherfucker. Inciting them is not the only way we can put pressure upon the council. But the more methods we employ, the greater our chance of success. Why the risk? Because the price is too high? You're just assuming that. And you're just assuming success. I haven't. Let's see. I have an exalted element. You wouldn't change, would you? I still need yet another energy. Alright, I'm letting this go one more round, hopefully. What do you think, Herklaus? No idea, I'm better at taking orders than having opinions, Summoner. Herklaus, you only act like this when you hear something stupid. Yeah, he just said something stupid, Vitus. My answer will not change your decision, so don't use me to influence your debate. You're right. Thank you for sharing my hubris. Bitch. Well, it's us versus the Demiurgers, apparently. This should give me an energy, right? Of course I take fucking Mukaki, bro. Fuck off. Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, I lagged a little. 10 whole ass cards, huh? 10 whole ass cards and I can't play a single one of them. For real, my guy. Is he gonna take Mukaki back again? I think the bot might be engineered to take Mukaki back at all costs. Just a hunch. Well, this is gonna be a sweep since I have the Broadus. Well, look what we have here. I don't think Mukaki stands respects his own principles as much as he thinks he does. What's that supposed to mean? Pressuring these people into making a decision without giving them a real choice should never be called freedom. But we need them to push the council. These people might still die based on what they're decided to do today. We shouldn't think only of ourselves. That's kind of the point I made. It's kind of the point that I have made, right? It's like capitalizing on their you know, capitalizing on them, you know, wanting to join up now may just end up is in of itself taking away freedom. 12 cards, baby. At the end of the day, the methods we choose should uphold our own principles. Do we ourselves want to push these people towards violence? Besides, even Mukaki's stance undermines his own principles. But it's also important to treat each situation objectively. Neither Makari Hari nor Mukaki would change their principles. Isn't that the point of their existence? Hey, you can't call me out like that, Vitus. Okay, you win. So even Mukaki knows that he's being a hypocrite. Fantastic. This chapter seems very long. I remember recording like at least 20 minutes, and I'm now at 1 hour and 20 minutes. In short, we should avoid causing more trouble. Let us redirect their passion for combat towards reflection and supporting the military. Very well spoken, Vitus. Bull lifts his spear and addresses the congregation with a booming voice. Everybody can be a hero if they protect what's important to them, but being a hero begins with being yourself. When you go home tonight, know that tomorrow will be better with your contribution towards peace. If this country is important to you, lads, then lend your strength at the recruitment offices. The audience rumbles with applause once again. From among them, Tamayo's directs a judgmental gaze towards the crown mages before turning away. Something tells me Tamayo's does not like what I put forth. Once the majority of the audience disperses, Vitus and Valises are given a moment to themselves. I'm not used to so much attention. It's better than the looks we were getting before. Suppose face is enough to overlook one's shortcoming. Shortcomings? Many people live their lives based on how the clergy want them to live it. If we speak for the gods, then that makes us a part of that now, doesn't it? Besides that we're nothing but strangers telling people how to live their lives. Accused murderers, even. But only the council are aware of that, and I'm thankful for it. Well, I see Regulus in the side already. Well, man, you got some chest hair, holy shit. Well, as long as people think we're doing good. I'm sorry, it's chest fur, then I don't mind. If you think you're doing good, then I have some bad news. Most commoners and councilors are supporting the war effort now after your last performance. Where did he come from? I didn't even see him. Don't patronize me, I have my ways. At this rate, the council will put enough support into the war effort to deploy troops to crush the rebellion. Isn't that better than remaining in standstill and allowing the rebels to overrun the capital? Of course it is. He's here too. I'm as vigilant as Regulus when I need to be. Don't let him get into your head and prey on your sentimentalities. You are not very sentimental about this at all. At this point, we don't particularly care which one of you gets your way, so as long as you're doing something at all. Right, men? Speaking freely, we should fully support only the senator. Well spoken. Wait, what? Well, of course the warmonger and the magician think that. Warmonger? Hey now, don't take it personally. It's a pretty normal wish for the scenario that makes you feel useful, right? Hard to break bread with the rebels when you were crushing their heads in not so long ago. Stop making excuses. We both know you're just trying to get under his skin. Well, it's a little too easy getting under yours. Figure I'd try somebody new. You just want to support the Tribune because you find commoners easier to fool. How's that any worse than you? You just want to suck the magic from the capital's teeth. So crude. It's a little transparent, that's all I'm saying. Caring about nobles more than the common people. Not the best look. Well, I care about all equally. The rebels should have a chance to plead their case rather than be crushed by the capital's forces. Regular people don't get the same choice when the war barges into their homes. Many of them must be trying to survive. I cannot accept a fate so cruel. Sir, could this argument now too? This is getting out of hand. Yeah, since when did I forgot that the heroes started forming their own opinions about all this bullshit. It's not so easy, sir, please. Negotiating with the rebels will draw out the conflict, putting more people in harm's way. But do we know that for sure? The rebels are willing to slaughter their countrymen without remorse. We can all attest to that from our time in Irinipolis. Past a certain point, I don't need to confirm their intentions. So you're willing to be a bad person just because the other person is worse? As long as the ends justify the means, then I am willing. I expect our rebel friends share the very same conceit. Then we have a plan. Sir Hermes, you may perform a miracle for my cause, and Crocus can perform one for my colleague. Pardon? We didn't agree to performing any more miracles. Oh, but you will, won't you? You did say you wanted us to do these miracles, Vitus. Well, yeah, I guess so, but we'll have this political crisis solved in no time. On that, I agree. Hermes has a way of persuading others. So as long as he drinks plenty of water that evening. Har har. I'm sorry that I don't get to cheat with magic to get people to do what I want. All you do is cheat. Only because it's fun. Well, now, I do remember getting pissed off. There are 2 more banquets within the next 3 days. One of the House of Commons and one for the House of Lords. Are they held at the same time? They're on different days. Lucky, eh? I expect you to give your full attention to both banquets, Crown Mages.
Just remember, we're only interested in facilitating a compromise. Miracles are unpredictable and may have unintended consequences. Stay in Seder Franzia long enough and you'll begin to understand that most consequences aren't left to random chance. Have a good evening, gentlemen. I expect to see Xermes the Savior at the House of Commons banquet, and I will see this great savant Krokos at the House of Lords banquet. I'll also be the first banquet in 2 days' time. Do be ready. May the waters guide you. Panther closes his tone and gives a salute. The House members diverge, heading in opposite directions. What was that all about, everyone? Krokos lets out a heavy sigh. We apologize for how hectic that was. I'm not apologizing for anything, and that's why I fucking hate you. Krokos sends the cheater a glare and he shrugs it off. We all have our own ideas about how events should unfold, that's all. But you often share those ideas with us first. What changed? Well, usually you and Vitus come across as sensible and persuasive, but because we both wish to remain neutral, I'll admit the tribunes convinced me instead. The senator's reasoning is sound. I am hard-pressed to find fault in it. And me as well. When did you all get so close to those two? I've hardly seen you talk. Vitus, it was the first banquet. Oh, you mean that massive waste of time? A lot of it was a waste of our time, yes. Perhaps it wasn't so we could meet with the council members, but rather so they could speak to the heroes without us listening. That's... Okay, everyone. What have those men been telling you? Nothing you haven't already heard. Why? Are you upset, Vitus? I just need to understand what's going on. If I saw treachery, then you'd be the first one to know it. I merely ask you learn how to play the game better. Stop being so casual about this. Those two already have revealed their motives to us and to you. A conniving mouth isn't so dangerous when you know what it's after. There's not much harm in voicing our positions as well. There is if we want to become a unified position. No matter what happens, we still support your voices. Do you now? Of course. It's not like we have a choice, really. We don't, but I'll still do my best to inform their choice. And we really think you are all doing an incredible job. Right, Vitus? Right. Thank you for your reassurances, everyone. I am not convinced. I fucking hate. Like, okay, the thing about it is that I don't want to sound like a control freak, but we're the crown mages. We are the leaders. They can form their own opinion, yes, but not like this. The dawn is gone and the moon's in the sky. The crown mages and heroes leave for Sulpicius Estate. Oh, that was a mess. It was something, alright. The heroes care more to argue than they care about us. Well, Xermes always cares about himself. That's what I like about him. You're getting a great laugh out of this, aren't you? If I would be if the consequences weren't so dire. Those crown mages are in more trouble than they know. They treat the heroes like good friends rather than the legends they are. Which means they're vulnerable to others who recognize that potential. Bad news. I don't want to be stuck with only you to talk to for the next few eons. I thought you'd be used to silence after being sealed away for so long. At least you had to deal with that too. But I can still barely remember anything from that time. Me too. We're getting distracted. I'm following the crown mages. You do what you wish. Bah! I was almost enjoying a talk with you. Way to ruin the moment. They are getting quite out of line. I do remember this. While passing through the market district, a brutish merchant is huffing about. Things have really gone from bad to worse. First, the rebels disrupt our supply routes. Now our wares are being stolen. All while the council is spending their days pining over two boys who claim they talked to the Lord. Well, I'll tell you what, I believe the Lord is truly with them. Those nobles say good fortune will come to those who believe in the crown mages. Just today a guard brought me my stolen linens. I could hardly believe my eyes. Must be a sign. Must be a load of hogwash. I don't believe a thing until I see one of these miracles for myself. I think we should try avoid being seen. Agreed. Who are you avoiding now, pretty boy? Oh, Kairos, what are you doing here? We were about to fetch you, but you saved us the trouble. Thanks. Regulus and Tamayo have asked the heroes to attend banquets and perform miracles. Would you like to come back to the estate with us? We can tell you the details then. Oh, of course, you needn't ask. Me and my brothers will stay behind. Gotta keep watching in case anybody's inspired to get close to you. Thanks. Well then, follow me, everyone. This is bullshit. Upon arriving at this date, we can discuss the situation. I fucking hate this. So that's the challenge, is it? It'll be tricky with the House of Lords banquet being the first one. I'm rather tired of those nobles too. Good news is the commoners on the street know of your feats. They think you're incredible after Paragon Circles brought that man back to life. You might not even give old Makari Hari a run for his Monera if some cult decides you're all divine yourselves. Cult. Please don't joke about that. Who says I'm joking? Perhaps we can discuss something more tangible, such as our current task. If I must impress nobles, then manifesting fire and ice won't do the trick. What sort of spells are known to be to the nobles of this era? Well, I imagine one's not so different than your era? I beg to differ. The average practitioner of today is far less skilled. They certainly don't cast death curses. Quiet, you. That won't be seen as a miracle at all. I'm not particularly thrilled about that either. They say mages always have their secrets. I guess your average nobles know of holy rituals of tossing flames. You guess? I don't know. I never studied in the academy growing up. I heard all nobles go to school at the academy. My family wasn't that well off when I was younger, so I didn't go. There were times I was lucky to have something to eat. That was until my brother traveled overseas and made his fortune there. I just didn't realize that nobles could be poor. Fox let out a one-note laugh. Plenty of my peers have agreed loudly with you there, but nobility is only a bloodline. Those businessmen in the House of Commons are far wealthier than most nobles. I don't know much about nobility at all, I'm afraid. Well, that's good, because I'd rather not talk about this anymore. Pyro's words have a sharp edge to them. You're right, let's move on. Do you suggest anyone more knowledgeable about magic then? There's always the censor. That would be ideal, but would he have time for me? Shouldn't be hard at all. Considering what's at stake, I'd say he's taken an interest in you, Crocus. Oh. Vitus swears that you can see Crocus blush. Yeah, cause they be fucking. I heard that he's been asking about you, wondering when you'll be able to come see him. I dare say he'd drop anything to speak with you, so long as it isn't a request from the dictator himself. Then let's not waste any time. Come on, up, we need to see the censor. He claps his paw and practically marches out the door. Hey, wait for us! I don't think I've seen Crocus this excited for a while. Before we go, Zermes, do you have your plan figured out? Now don't toss and turn your pretty little heads over me. I can always manage to work things out. Say, Kairos, if your family is well off now, do you suppose you could sponsor me? It'll go to a great cause. For how much? Zermes whispers into the fox's ear. Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. Gia slaps him on the back. That's what I like to hear. Now why don't you all go have fun bloodletting or whatever it is the mages like to do? You menace. I mean, I can still appreciate them having their own interests, but this is going a step too far. Vitus and Valises catch up with Crocus, once again finding themselves climbing the great steps of the council building. Censor sits in the middle of the foyer, much more peacefully than the first time they saw him. Prismatic crystal rotates above his paw. Light shines through it, splitting into many directions and casting shadows of runic symbols inside of the room. I thought you might be back. It's good of you to come, Vitus Valises, but especially Crocus. They fucking. That's quite the device you got there. This little trinket? A remote communication device. I've never seen one with that many channels before. You're talking to hundreds of people at once. This dull thing is merely a novelty. How about we talk business for a change? I hear the Crown Mazers raised the dead with the power of Makari Hari. Is it true? He knows it wasn't just Circles? Perhaps a lucky guess. Of course I knew. But it's rude to whisper when you visit. You should really speak up. Sorry. What you heard about the miracle is true. And soon I must perform a miracle of my own. Do you have a problem with that? Sadly, I don't know what the nobles of today would consider a miracle. Would plucking a meteor from the sky amaze them, or would it bore them? It would certainly make them very toasty now, wouldn't it? If it was considered a miracle, I would do it. That's been done before. Too bad. So what hasn't been done before? Well, magic is a fickle thing, but it's particularly reliable here in State of Fonzia. I notice. I have some thoughts about it. Magic is intrinsically connected to life itself. Like a pail is filled by rain, magical energy grows and is perpetuated through practice. And yet the city is surrounded by a desert devoid of plants and magical energy. Yes, particularly so among the sand dunes. A miracle out there could be me levitating a rock. But a miracle here? Displays of arcane power or parlor tricks will not do. If you want to change minds, then change them yourself. You mean transmutation magic? No, I mean a deeper, more fundamental change. So you mean mind control? Yes, and I mean the genuine sort that really changes minds. Not temporary enthrallment, implanting idea that is there to stay, on many people at once. That kind of spell doesn't exist here? Not anymore. I've read fables of such spells from eons ago, but they're more myth than history, but you're a living legend yourself. Well, maybe not living. To make something a part of them that was never there is essentially remaking a person. You're fundamentally changing who they are, even by a little bit. I can already tell that where this is going. Makari Haru's gonna tell us that we shouldn't do this, and Mukaki's gonna be like, oh, wait. If Mukaki is about freedom, then wouldn't he be the one who would tell us not to go through with it? Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, I think I have it backwards. And the smallest change could have great consequences, perhaps. Though if you can change somebody's favorite food to olives, who's to say you've made much of a difference at all? Krokos looks to Makari Haru. No. Look for something. Yep. Any other lost spells you'd like me to find? A few come to mind, but I suspect anything too violent or sacrilegious wouldn't be seen as a miracle. Mind control could be innocent enough. That would be the most dangerous kind of spell. It's out of the question. Or perhaps it's only dangerous because you never allowed those capable of it to try and perfect it. So apparently it is Makari Haru's that's like no against it. Perfecting it would be worse. Controlling a person and unmaking them are one and the same. Inconsequential changes will always cause permanent alterations to a person's life. Sounds like Circles' worst nightmare. And mine as well. I thought you said you'd stop arguing. We understand the risk that we're taking. Whether we alter their mind or set them on fire, it's not like any option is without risk. You don't have to constantly remind us. So you're really talking to Makari Haru? With that attitude? Yes, why? Oh, nothing. You really are one of the crown mages. I don't know what you mean. You don't want to know how I talk to the dictator in private. In the moment, the censor come across as a person rather than second most powerful man in the country. Do you wish to ask anything else, Krokos? You've given me a lot to consider. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. And best of luck with your endeavors. Anything that will shake the stagnation of the houses has my interest. I'll be very interested in what arises from the miracle you choose to perform. Okay, so it looks like we're going through with mind control, and then Makari Haru will tell us to not do it, Mukaki will tell us to do it, or maybe we'll do it and then they'll go into a spat. Late into the night now, they return to their state feeling more equipped for what is to come ahead, but something else is on Vita's mind. Kairos, I want to talk about something. Go on. I feel like you're different from the other nobles I've met around the capital. What do you mean? I'm tense around the censor for one. He's kind but intimidating. I could put him off at any moment if I did something wrong. But I'm more at ease around you. It's not that complicated. Growing up, I wasn't assured a government job, and my family had very little economic prospects. People could say that I'm more commoner than noble at this point, and more than a few of them do. Does the difference matter that much? I have complicated feelings when it comes to people who think they're better than others. But I don't get that feeling from you at all. I hope so. You know, people are born with all sorts of things. Maybe it's a noble bloodline, maybe it's Munera. Often it's both. Simply having things doesn't make you better or worse. It just means you have a different life experience. Some people become better for that experience. Others become worse. But you already understand that, don't you? Kairos turns around and paces down the hallway. It's late, Crown Mage. Rest up. Tomorrow will be a busy one. What the fuck? This chapter is so long. I feel like I'm gonna get an ulcer with how much talking I'm doing. Absolute means. The next day, it's not a moment past noon when the Crown Mages hear a knock on the door. Kairos ushers the visitor inside. Senator Tamayo greets them all with a graceful salute. Hold on. Well met, messengers of the Lord. You seem to have a habit of making surprise visits. Feels like he's always wanting to make a dramatic entrance. I could hardly be tardy if I'm to escort you all to the banquet this evening. You needn't worry about that. We know how to get to the council gardens by now. I don't doubt that, but I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. Risks? Panther ignores Valise's question. Is Krokros ready to perform his miracle tonight? Of course. Delightful. Let's not tarry then. Hey. Hey, answer my question, bitch. The journey to the banquet is filled with chatter between Krokos and Timaeus. Oh, looks like you have a three-way then, Krokos. You, Timaeus, and Various. Good on you. Timaeus praises the magician while gently stressing the urgency of the capital's defense. However, Krokos falls silent when Senator commands his impromptu mage academy back in Iranipolis. The banquet comes to a hush when they arrived. Good people, the messengers and their heroes have blessed us with another appearance tonight. That's Krokos the High Priest, is it? I haven't drank in a while. I heard he was more of a magician than the stories told. If you must know, I played the role of both during my mortal life, though this evening I wear the role of a magician. Senator Timaeus has requested a miracle from me in exchange for your good favor, and I agreed to these terms. Pah, miracle my bloody ass. Anything can be considered a miracle when a magician shows us parlor tricks. Those in State of Franzia aren't as gullible as the peasants you're used to. We know a thing or two about magic and runes. I bore witness to the miracles performed by Circles and Herclaus. Feats of superior strength and resurrection of the dead are mentioned among archives of magic lost to us. Perhaps this man is responsible for all those performances. Far more believable than an act of the Lord, if you ask me. Sorry. The other senators rumble in agreement. Oh, I know plenty of magic lost to your time, but I promise what I will show you tonight will change your mind. Afterwards, you will have no doubts that Vitus and Felicis are true crown mages. Do you accept my conditions? That's fair enough. Get on with it. Very well, watch my paws. Krokos drags his digit through the airs like one would draw pictures in wet sand. Faint glimmer sparkles from the crystal dagger adorning his neck. The last time he held that pose, he was threatening to have me not hug him. There's resistance to his movement, like he's compressing something invisible and viscous. With a clap of his paws, energy springs from him, brightening the sky with a singular boom, then silence. Oh hey, you changed the time today. Vitus and Valises opened their eyes to see the nobles around them staring into space, as if they had seen nothing at all. What did you do to them? Bitter sweat drips down the snow leopard's brow. An illusion of the morning sun. I cannot discuss it now. I must concentrate on the spell long enough to implant the suggestion of faith in you and Valises. Could the demiurges help? It might not work on everyone if I don't have more energy, but this might be enough. Bakari Bukaki, could you help him? Gladly. This is Krokos at his best, doing what nobody else can, pushing his limitless potential. No. What do you mean no? This spell is an abomination and should not be encouraged. If you don't help, I'll just have to represent Bukaki from now on. You said that last time. Vitus will keep saying it as long as it works. Exactly. So what are you all hung up about? We don't need him. Their energy would do a great deal of help right now. Well, if you're going to keep making promises to him, then I won't lend my powers either. Think it through. I won't support either of you again without your help. Fine by me. You impudent mortal. I guess we never needed the demiurges to perform miracles in the first place, eh, Krokos? I can keep going, but it's getting harder. Some of their minds are poking around, pushing back. I could easily become overwhelmed, although some of them aren't resisting at all. If you've done your best, then that's good enough. It's going to have to be. That's it. I can't stand it. What's the point of breaking out of that seal if I'm not going to live a little? Krokos, take all of my strength. Do what you do best. I'm not about to let you run loose with the full support of my crown mages. That spell may be against my principles, but failing my followers is even worse. Just this once, you have my power. For such ends, Krokos. Bursts of light and flame swirl around Krokos in a blinding display of magic. When the crown mages open their eyes again, everything is as it were, save for the lingering scent of rain. Krokos? What did you do to them? I etched within them the pain that the war is bringing the people, and let them feel what you felt when you lost your homes. Then I showed them the true form of Makari Hari in moments at the peak of his power. If the spell worked as I believe it did, the suggestion that they must help you and Valises should now be a part of their core beliefs. An additional curse of suggestion will also linger for some time. I had to ensure the changes stick, so to speak. I'm rather pleased with myself, really. I suppose we should test it. You there, sir. Me? Did Crocus manage to convince you? You were doubting him earlier. I cannot deny the power of the Battle Pages any longer. Whatever aid you need from me, I'll work from sunrise to sunset to ensure you have it. That's a little too extreme. That's quite a drastic change of attitude. Bravo, Crocus. Your stunning miracle of turning night into day has swayed my colleagues. I had no doubt that you could do this. An honor to serve you, Senator. Crocus, you're serving us. Do relax, it was merely a manner of speech. Yeah, right. Miles saw what happened during the miracle. Crocus must have protected him from the spell. Well, we don't need to convince him that we're crown mages. Perhaps affecting him would be too much for Crocus' sense of integrity. Now that the performance is over, we might as well put out disgraceful acts to use. Ask the senators to vote for a compromise so that we can stabilize the government. Understood. Hey now, don't get a big head. We already changed their minds, no need to keep them as our thralls. Just dispel the lingering curse and allow them to vote how they want. Those visions already got the Prime Cross, they probably just vote how Vitas Valises want anyway. If we dispel it now, those sensitive to magic may detect their minds were altered. But what is done cannot be undone. We should keep them under our blessing as long as Vitas and Valises remain in Sator Fonzia. Blessings? You always like to sugarcoat things. Okay, so technically I was right and wrong. I thought Makari Hari would be against the magic, but then I thought he would be for it, and then I flip-flop. Okay, so they're flip-flopping now. Any spell cast under my influence should be considered a blessing. Actually, both are the same kind of magic. The difference is merely a matter of perspective. Yeah, one makes sense and the other is the delusion of some haughty bugger. Good old-fashioned manipulation is enough to deal with that lot from here on out. We don't need to curse them on top of changing their minds. You were the one who wanted to promote the spell in the first place. Yeah, just so we could prove the point. Crocus is the real deal. Controlling people against their will is a completely different matter. You already suggested manipulating them without realizing it. Control and manipulation are entirely different things. At least people can work out they're being manipulated. Enough already, we're getting sidetracked. Elises, what do you think about the curse? Am I comfortable with it? Not entirely, but I also don't like the idea of senators finding out exactly what kind of miracle Crocus performed. But it's not me who needs convincing, it's Timaeus. What about him? He's a cunning man who will work out something is awry if the senators agree with us without question. It's better to be open with him and discuss the suggestion curse plainly as part of Crocus' miracle. You're right. I'm sure he can handle it. We'll have to pick a side. Wow. This was what I was going for anyways. I think we should dispel the curse on the senators. Then I'll support your side, Vitas. Wait, what? It's time to go tell Timaeus what happened. I hope he doesn't beat us up with that book of his. I wouldn't mind seeing you struggle on some of the reading. What? Hey, now I wasn't being serious. Anyways, let's go. Keep in mind we still have interlude after this. Convince Timaeus to remove the suggestion curse from the senators. Well, okay. I am grateful that all things considered, we aren't at least taking one side completely. All things considered. Why does he have double healing? So you mean to say that the miracle was not changing night to day, but rather changing the mind of the senators? Right, and Crocus used the curse to prevent them from noticing this truth. Is it possible that they could discover what was done to them? If rumors spread that I was allowed this to happen, I may have to resign. Don't worry, they won't find out. We're going to take care of it. Take care of what? We plan to dispel the curse of suggestion soon enough. Even without the curse, the senators will not discover the particulars of what happened. The spell was mixed with divine energy. Not even the magicians of my time could untangle it. I would like to believe you, however, that is something I must confirm. Oh, hell yeah! I draw an additional card per round? Hell yes, dude. Well, I guess that's not entirely unreasonable.
let's see. We have various. Since I'm taking turn 2, I can just do this, I guess. He gets double healing. How exactly does this curse affect my fellow house members? A curse of suggestion, meaning they will unconditionally support the actions of crown mages, even if, for example, they were asked to jump off a bridge. No, it's not absolute control, suggesting they should support a motion is more likely. How can I be certain that you won't cross the line? We only want the council to move forward, nothing else. Promises are merely voiced desires you stand by. Fulfilling them is up to fate. What do you mean by that? He's implying that we may have no choice but to break our promises. Is he really going to do that? Oh no. Give me your cards, bitch! What do you have? Alright, sure enough. Well, I cannot deny the result. I had hoped Great Savant Krokos would be more skillful. I assure you those spells require a very high degree of skill. I have no doubt that they did, but your crude methods sully my praise. The best method is the one that works, is it not? I'm not one to take chances with people's lives in my career. Why not feign ignorance of what happened? And who's gonna believe that? All that and you still... Well, you only have one card, so... Motherfucker, he's gonna triple heal. That just undid all my progress! Of course you take... Wait, oh, he already has her buff up again. If you say you wanted to dispel the curse, but why was it cast in the first place? That was my decision. But Lord you almost said Lord Mukaki. But Lord Makarihari and my summoners decided against it. Is it safe to dispel it? The center does not notice their minds were changed. I'd rather they not find out for as long as possible, for obvious reasons, I hope. Believe me, your secret is safe. Do you not trust Kroko's judgment? In dire times, a politician must trust in their own judgment. You have Exalted Element. And Divine Favor? Oh my lord. Well, give me that. Really? You're right to have concerns, but you have our promise that we'll sort out anything that might happen. Politicians don't believe in promises. Then you're fortunate we aren't politicians. Our words are on behalf of Makari Hari. Does this mean that Lord Makari Hari will protect me? Well, unfortunately, not quite. Hey, I'm the one you're talking about. Not that I would bless anyone, let alone a politician. Well, we can't just say the fucking devil, right? Calm your tits. I do.
There it is, winning with Various again, but you get to see his evil version. Evil! Again, I assure you that we will make things right. Please consider our actions as the will of Makari Hari. I understand, your intervention must be a sign of Makari Hari's justice against the Council. Ah, who gives a crap about justice? But if my crown mages make a promise on my behalf, I don't mind helping them honor it. They're not your crown mages. Ahem, I'm glad we've come to an understanding. I hope we can work well from now on. Oh, an eye is a bit evil. Oh, well, okay, that does unsettle me a little bit. Tamayo's piercing moon. What an interesting win. See, you don't need to control people in order to win their hearts. You just have to be the best. I look forward to seeing the change that you can accomplish, Crown Mages. And it seems I have more work to do. Feel free to go back without me. We should check in on Zermes. Right, we still don't know what he's planning for tomorrow. Huh, a banquet with entertainment and nobody invited me. You all should be thankful that I'm generous enough to turn up late. Oh, Nikos, what a pleasure to see you. Come, eat with us. You just missed the most wondrous sight. That holy mage, Krokos, treated us to a miracle. The sun shone brightly in the middle of the night. I could hardly believe my own sight. Oh, did it now? Sounds like a magician's trick to me. Not half the trick you are, you traitor. Pardon? What do you mean, Lord Livius? You spoke merrily in support of Nikos just this morning. What irrationality possessed me, I do not know, but I never welcomed this fiend. Anger is a bad look on you, Senator. Perhaps you better discuss my finer points with your associate here. I do not care if others support you, but I am a pious man who serves the Republic and the Lord. I have a mind to support the two boys who claim themselves crown mages. At least they managed to do something for our Republic. You mean the ones who have been accused of murder? An accusation is not guilt in the eyes of the Lord. Come on! Forgive him, Nikos. You've been doing great work with the dictator. I look forward to his return to the council meetings. And I also look forward to your associates' support in the future. Enjoy your meals. Well, this is how we establish Nikos as someone we do not like, I suppose. Upon returning to the estate, they find Cairo, Zermes, and the hyena gang huddled together in the corner. Are you alright? Never been better. All the necessary preparations have been made. Have they? The boss can handle anything. Yes, boss is the best. Boss? Thought he disowned you lot. Disowned us? What a strong word. We have an arrangement. Hyena stares at Zermes' chalice as he says this. The Thin One has been helping me investigate the counselors. I don't think we have much to worry about. Courting the nobles was always going to be the harder task. So what's the miracle that Zermes is going to perform? It's a surprise. I'm not fond of surprises. Don't worry, you'll love this one. And you won't even have to lift a finger. No violence. Oh, not a bit. No blackmail. Nothing underhanded, I assure you. No murder. Now you're insulting me. I can fulfill all of those strange whims of yours without a problem. So how about you go and take a napkin? I'm suddenly wide awake. We do need to get some rest, Vitus. I suppose you're right. Zermes, just don't do anything wrong. I wouldn't do anything wrong by you, dear Vitus. Good night. They're getting out of control. That's evident. The following afternoon, the tribunes show up at their doorstep. Aha, shall we be on our way? You know, people love the tales of Zermes the Savior. I just know he'll be the talk of the city after tonight's banquet. I'm rolling my eyes so hard right now. On their way to the banquet, Zermes and Regulus waffle on while the crown mages tail behind them at a distance. Vitus. Yes, Felicis? I thought it strange yesterday, but how do Regulus and Timaeus know where we're living? You never told them. Now that you mention it, that is a little odd. Could they be spying on us? If they are, they're very good at it. But I doubt they need to, considering how willing the heroes are to chat with them. They're very charismatic, aren't they? I just hope I'm being paranoid. Well, the crown mages have been flapping their gums a little bit too much lately. The House of Commons banquet was just as lavish as yesterday, but more lively, jolly, and colorful. Great, we're here again. Feels more like a party than a formal dinner. Perhaps it is because they are rich men with new money. They don't share the old traditions of the nobility. I find it exhausting in a completely different way. I find it utterly perfect. Xermes walks into the center of the garden, raises his paw and claps. Good evening, members of the council. Is that Xermes the Savior? Well, I've never heard of him. He's one of those miracle workers people are gossiping about. Those two peasants claiming to be crown mages who can see the Lord. Aye, but who would be so gullible as to fall for their tricks? Tricks? You wound me, sir. I'm gonna hit you with a rose again. Like my companions, I am in the business of making miracles happen. Xermes strides over to one of the nearby counselors. I borrow a spare coin, fine fellow? Well, alright, but it's my only one, so I want it back. Just the one? Cheers pulls out his calendar and drops the coin inside with a small splash. Then he tips the contents out. A rain of Monera comes flying out, the chalice jangling across the ground. He can duplicate coins? How's he doing that? How is he doing that? The chalice doesn't work like that. There has to be some kind of trick. We should keep watching. Seems I've returned your investment back 100-fold. It's all mine? Oh, but anyone could have a few spare coins, you might say. Well, how about something a little more unique? Do you have anything else I might borrow? Counselor Trambos pulls a glittering gemstone from his pocket. I've been carrying this around with me for a while, searching for the right jeweler to set it into a ring. Xermes plucks the ring from the counselor's paw and drops it into the chalice. A gasp rises from the onlookers. He tips the chalice out and dozens of beautiful sparkling jewels pitter-patter to the ground. Let's hope your jeweler has enough patience to make a ring for each and every one. The counselor scoffs at the stuttering man hurriedly snatching up the golds and jewels. Once his rucksack is filled to bursting, he turns to Xermes and graciously thanks Cheetah while the insides of his ears turn bright red. Why can't you come over to us next? Must I remind you who we are? Restrain your petty urges, counselor. My apologies. Now I know what you must all be thinking. Most of you are drowning in wealth as it is. Stressed out about the garden as he speaks, letting his paw slide against one man's arm. What were troubles in life that money cannot solve? Jack's paw. Troubles with those stubborn nobles not protecting trade from the rebel skirmishers, perhaps. You know what? I'm not gonna read that. Even some motivated fools among you may have collaborated with the enemy, afraid of losing stability. He kneels before one of but we all make mistakes sometimes, don't we? I don't want to read that. Xermes moves around as it in a tightly choreographed dance. It's both difficult to scrutinize and impossible to look away from. One man motions a wolf whistle, but another council slaps their paw down as if to remind him where they are. Word has it that our own dictator is invulnerable to the temptations of life. A commoner like yourself has grown close to him, distracting him from his duties. Completely unfounded ideas, as if we would give any such tactics any consideration. More than a few councillors shift on their cushions. Cheetah smiles at the councillor and clicks his tongue. Maybe not you, but I can always consider such tactics if need be. Brushes one man on his target few ways before he speaks. Bring your troubles to me in private. I'll lift your burdens, no matter how heavy the weight. Jesus waved graciously to the councillor as he makes his leave. A few stifled whimpers indicate that a few of them wish to follow but cannot due to the decorum of the banquet. That's just fucking stupid. By far, that's the stupidest miracle. Vitus pinches his nose. Xermes, what in paradise was that? Doing what I do best. Thought you were gonna perform a miracle. Kitten, I am the miracle. Does that actually count? Karihara shrugs at Mukaki. I can assure you my efforts worked, so you're welcome. What I saw is you promised those people Monera. You don't actually have Monera, do you? We both know the Holy Chalice doesn't work like you showed those people. A fib never hurt anyone. So that's why you asked Kairos for funds, isn't it? That wasn't so hard to work out. So if they come to you, we're still going to be in trouble. We need their votes, not their undying loyalty. We're merely trying to change their minds on the compromise. Besides, I can always settle their minds on things one-on-one. I don't always need to convince them with money. That doesn't seem very sustainable. You'll find dreams are rarely sustainable. They're all about being swept up in the moment. So long as you can inspire someone to dream, it's much easier to persuade them to do what you want. Vitus looks over to the Demiurges. Can either of you believe this? This is all coming from Zermi, so yes. Makarahari shrugs again. Whatever gets the job done. How Zermes does what he does is none of my business. Precisely. Well, at least they're in agreement for once. I'm just glad all of this is over. Now we have a good chance to sway votes within the council. You're right. Kairos, do you know when the House of Commons and House of Lords will next sit? I do not, but I'm sure Regulus and Timaeus will be eager to host the next session. I can put you in contact with them tomorrow. Looks like it's gonna be another busy day for us. Yeah. You should both get some rest. After all, I'll be in demand all night long. You know what? Mukaki is right. Zermi's methods are none of my business. He's gonna get the fucking. Can a dead guy still get STDs? Would he be the one giving out STDs considering he's dead? Vitus and Velisa sleep soundly through the night. At noon the following day, Kairos arrives at the estate with Timaeus and Regulus to discuss scheduling a vote for the compromise. Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence, Tribune Regulus and Senator Timaeus. As you know, we've put a lot of effort into persuading both houses to our cause for the benefit of the capital security. Zermes chortles. What a joke. Zermes? What's his problem? The House of Commons will be voting of their own initiative before the day is up, and if they vote in agreement, as I believe they will, an envoy will be sent to negotiate with the rebels. What? Not if I have anything to do with it. Provoking the rebels will endanger the lives of far too many people. You can use all the spells you fancy, but I can expose you for what you've done. Senators won't like to know that their minds have been compromised. That could ruin everything. You're right. So behave. Okay, now they're just acting severely out of line. If your champions are done squabbling, I would like to speak. Please do. I will not promise to compromise you speak, Crown Mages, but it's plain to see that the House's members' opinions have shifted greatly since you arrived. Regulus cuts him with the eyes that glimmer as bright as the sun. I agree. It's time to put this matter to a final vote. Come along, Zermes and Circlete. Excuse me? If you both lend me your aid for one last miracle, there's no doubt the people will follow our lead. Timaeus interjects, his gaze like the moon's piercing through the dark of night. Is that why your titles were Piercing Moon and Glimmering Sun? The nobility of Hercaus and the might of Crocus will lead you, speechless coward. Be sure to follow along, you two. The councilman excused themselves and head for the door. The follows here. Excuse me? More miracles? They didn't even ask us before leaving this time, because we would have stopped them. I wanted them to have the freedom to do what they want, but it's like they aren't concerned about us at all. What's this mean for our arbitration? I don't know, but the thoughts leaves a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Those councilmen have managed to rope the heroes into their personal interests. They will blame us if the heroes start fighting with each other in public. And we can't risk anyone finding out that we can see Mukaki. How can we stop this? I don't know. Yeah. That I'm glad that the sentiment is finally being echoed, isn't it? Retribution. What should we do now? A low rumbling sound of thunder can be heard behind them. It's emanating from Makarihara and Mukaki, who are brooding in the corner. I've never witnessed such disrespect towards Crown Mages. Make them remember their place. This has gone on long enough. What do you mean? Perform your duties as Crown Mages and control your heroes. Summon them back and rid us of this outrage. But I don't want to force them. They're people too. Dead people, Vitus. They only exist because of us. We should expect them to show some loyalty. I want them to be our friends, not tools. Let me tell you something, Crown Mage. No matter how headstrong the heroes are, they gave up their free will long ago. And by that you mean, in life they took an oath to embody their artifacts and serve the Crown Mages forevermore, who in turn speak for me. They speak for whoever serves the Crown Mage's purpose, really. And what is that purpose? I don't recall boring stuff like that. Likely to contain your wickedness. What, am I fucking Alphaba now? Likely? Lord Makari Hari, are you saying you don't remember the purpose of the Crown Mages? In the grand scale of things, I've been asleep for so long that I cannot be sure of anything at the moment, but the longer I stay in the city, the more I remember. I see. But that's besides the point. The heroes are betraying their sacred duty to serve you, the Crown Mages. There must be consequences. In an impulse of light, the four heroes reappear, somewhat disoriented. Heroes of the Crown Mages, address me, God over all that is. Where are we? Where else? We're exactly where we started. What? I'm very cross with you all. You have shirked your duties and neglected your summoners. Shirked our duties? I was in the middle of a very important spell, I'll have you know. I had quite the pretty face beneath my paw. What have you to say about this, Vitus Valisus? We don't particularly care what you were doing. You all hurried off without us, without explaining a thing. We were merely doing what you ask. Crown Mages are so sensitive these days. You two are sending very conflicting orders. I was only trying to help. I have no doubts you're all trying very, very hard. But we don't feel like we're in control anymore. So we must tell you everything. Perhaps I should plead for your permission whenever I need to take a piss. Oh, I want to slap his fucking ass right now. Well, not well. Okay, let me rephrase this. I wanna punch his face. All right. I bet you like that, kid. Honestly, this is absurd. Nah, you four are the absurd ones. Look, I'm not some control freak like Makari Hari, but you shouldn't be treating the Crown Mages like that. They barely know what they're doing. We'll teach them to make the right judgments once they're more experienced. I've learned plenty already. Do any of you remember the reason why we're here in the first place? We're not here to be the messengers of the Lord, much less influence the nation by week's end. We lost our home. We just want to go back to the academy. Until then, we're stuck with one another. Perhaps our mentor could have been whatever you wanted. I'm nothing special, but I'm honest about that, about doing my best. I thought that meant we could help each other. I'm not happy because you four clearly think you're better than me. Better than Valisus too. He's a lot more special than I am. Oh, no, you fucking... A bit too snarky for his own good, perhaps. Vitus. But you don't care about how we feel at all. The room falls silence. Vitus takes deep breaths, feeling a dizziness in his head and a heat behind his ears. Circles places a reassuring paw on the lion's back and he feels better. You're right. And your blood pressure was getting too high, so I fixed it for you. I feel a little better, thank you. I haven't forgotten how you helped me back in Irinipolis, but I still need to repay that kindness, Crown Mage. Sorry, I've offended you. I've allowed myself to stray from your cause, partly because I wanted to make you proud, but most importantly because it made me feel important. That is to say, I'm not perfect either. Thanks for reminding me how to follow your orders, Summoner. It was wrong of me to talk down to you earlier. The fundamental truth in life is that you can never know everything. You can read emotions almost as quickly as I can decipher a new rune. So be sure to remember that your knowledge makes you special, Vitus. And what about Zermes? I won't pretend to be kind. I can do things that none of the rest of you can do. He shrugs. You can be rid of me whenever you like. We're not letting you off that easy. I want you around, Zermes, and I think you want the same. Just be a little bit more honest with me. It's hard to say no when you make that face. Alright, fine. I'll try my best, kid. But remember, I'm far less useful if I spill everything I know. That's fine. Thank you, everybody. Well, I'm glad this was resolved properly. That was well done, Vitus. Not half bad. You both forced my hand, so I can't take all the credit. Should have taken action much earlier. So it's all thanks to you. Fantastic. Now get on your knees and go in for the Great Wakaki! That won't be necessary. Your faith has made us both stronger, for better and for worse. I hate to interrupt, but we have visitors. Regulus and Timaeus look upon the scene. How long have you been here? Long enough. We were about to proceed with the official vote when the heroes disappeared before our eyes. Ha! Sucked in! And we both just want to say that we're sorry? Are you? I'd like to hear what you're sorry for, because some transparency from you two is long overdue. At first we thought that the heroes were the ones capable of doing incredible feats. We fought to win their favor so that they could help us achieve our goals. Now we see the reason the heroes have achieved such great things is because one of you has a great head on their shoulders and the other is exceedingly perceptive. The heroes are far too disorganized without you two working together, and it's difficult to fashion ourselves as crown mages in your place. You never had to. We were fine supporting both of your causes without bias. Spoken like a gracious winner. Then you'll leave us alone now? Wait, Vitus. We should attend the vote, just to make sure nothing goes wrong. You're right. When is the vote be held now? Like I said, the vote was about to be held before it was unceremoniously interrupted. If you hurry, we can still hold it today. Then let's go. Well, I guess it worked out. Upon reaching the Capitol building, Timaeus and Regulus split off to their respective houses. The chamber is filled with councilors and senators, various watching over the ordeal from above as the speaker. There's an awful lot of people in this chamber. You sound surprised. Mostly because I thought it would be hotter in here. You can thank the hydrothermal system for that. The water is pumped through the building like veins, keeping the air inside cool. How does the water get to the top of the building? Magic power mechanisms carry the water from far below using buckets and wheels. Once it reaches the top, gravity carries the water to the very depths of the aqueducts beneath the city. Every new thing I learn about this place astonishes me. Members of the Lords and Commons, the time has come to revisit our first vote on whether or not we will deploy troops to the border. In summary, my proposal is deploy 10,000 men post-haste. Members may proceed with the vote. The chamber rumbles with murmuring voices. Each member lines up and drops a terracotta slip into one of two vases to reject or accept Timaeus' proposal. After every vote has been placed, the censor speaks. I will now count the vote and announce the results. Varys empties both containers in front of him. As you can see, the proposal has overwhelmingly failed. The senator closes his eyes, salutes, and takes his seat. Aha, then we should proceed with the second vote of the day. My proposal entails sending an assembly of envoys and protectors to meet with the rebels for peaceful negotiations. Members may proceed with the vote once more. The same routine plays itself out, but with different slips of terracotta slips of different color. Censor empties the containers again and shakes his head. Once again, like many times before, the proposal has failed. In that case, Censor, we would like to put forth a proposal. This young man is not part of either house and is in no position to lodge a proposal. What is the meaning of this disruption? I agree, this is most foolhardy. Foolhardy, but not without reason. The law does not forbid crown mages from proposing a bill to the council. Well, I suppose it doesn't, but only because it's never been attempted before. What do you say, Censor? I say the crown mages should make a case for the validity of their proposal. Good, that's just what I wanted to hear. Let's begin, Vitus. We're about to kick Varys' ass again. Convince Varys to allow the crown mages' proposal. Here we go. So this is the climax fight, huh? Why? Please tell us why you should be allowed to speak before the council. Is this necessary? You know who we are and how our interests align. Perhaps I do, but my feelings do not matter within this chamber. I must prove all these fine house members that my actions are justified, otherwise we will both be mocked out of here. I'm tired of having to plead in front of so many people. But you have endured much and more in order to be here. I trust that you endure it to the end. How about you trust me in a more practical sense? Hey now, Vitas, I won't let you take all the praise. It's time to show these officials that we are worthy of their attention. Let's fucking go. Look at that. We're equal. Miles too? Well, I mean, my hand wasn't that good anyway, so I guess I'm not opposed to it. Of course you take from fucking Makari. He took out my... Now then, you may speak to the council. Historically, the clown mages have held a de facto position within the government, therefore we should be considered officials. Do you have proof of this claim? I believe it will be common sense. Speaker, I have returned from the library of information regarding this. The Panther possesses a bookmarked tome of various. The position of the crown mages is mentioned in many texts, the ancient case deal among them. Before changes in Pruna's system of government, the crown mages were the primary administrators of civil order. That's what the marked passage says in passing. The case deal is a fundamental text in our legal system. You would be hard-pressed to find me a more reliable source. House members burst with discussion with equal looks of offense and interest. Varys slams the bench to silence them. I didn't know the crown mages were ever that important. Even the divine can only do so much by themselves, so I left administration duties to the crown mages. That's right, but don't act like the crown mages only listen to you. Is he gonna swap? Oh no, goodbye. Oh, I guess not. I forgot to check what his fucking card was. God damn it. Alright. Well, I wouldn't want to accidentally trade away my exalted element, so... House members' discourse rumbles like the mechanical waterways around the chamber. Pruna has undergone many changes in leadership and governance across the eons. The empire that the Crown Mages were founded under is a thing of the past. Why should we recognize the Crown Mages in the Pruna of today? The fact that the Crown Mages have survived since the early age of this country should be proof enough. And yet they're no longer mentioned in any of the current texts of our legal system. If I may interject, Speaker, I have brought Lex Duodecim Rami, the earliest law writing of our current reign. As you can see here, it is stipulated that the members of the Council of 12 must be Crown Mages, and the Council of 12 was predecessor to the House of Lords. Wait, does that make us nobles? I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. I forgot to check his cards. God damn it! It's so fucking stupid. I keep forgetting to check what the cards on the other side is. For reference, Kairos only allows you to see the hand when you're in the trial stage. I mean, I can't say I'm too upset by the losses that I've incurred. Unless he suddenly remembers. Okay. Thankfully it doesn't remember. Well, I would like to hang onto this for a little while. I know he has a lot of green, so if I can use Makari Hari and then flip Regulus over to get rid of all his greens. Even so, how will we prove that you're genuine? Is that an actual question?
We summon the heroes you see before you. He's right, I serve them for my honor with my life. If they were not our summoners, we have no reason to listen to them. I'm blessed to have been summoned once more by them both. What? Everyone in this room has seen me plenty already. No one doubts in your mind now, is there? I just meant so cheeky fucking freaky, dude. Nice, exalted element. And once again, I forget the well, I mean, I technically know of his cards already, so let's get rid of green. There we go. Look at that 6 energy, baby. Well, who do we finish this with? I like fits of irony. I put forth that the Lex Duodecim Rami demonstrates legal precedence for our authority within the Council. Exactly, and any ambiguities in the current law may be interpreted in reference to the previous cases. Are you about to propose an amendment to the law of the Republic? Not at all. Lex Duodecim Rami already outlines our position to speak within the Council. This is the end of it, unless anyone here wishes to amend the law. Regardless, any such motion would not pass until the end of this session. Presently, we are within our rights to make a proposal. I love irony. I use various to beat various. Very well. On the basis of legal precedence, the Crown Majors shall be recognized as members of the Council. For a moment, the chamber becomes silent before discussion between the House member rumbles to life once more. Silence! The Speaker has made his decision. Bloody oath! I knew you guys could do it. Excellent. You both are becoming fine Crown Majors. Well, I would have been stuck without Valisa's knowledge. And we should make our proposal before you keep on praising me. Motherfucker's blushing. Burning virtue. This episode is far too long. It's 2.5 hours as is already. With your knowledge of the Council and its positions, I see no reason your proposal should be rejected. Thank you for your grace, Censor. We firmly believe that the government could be doing more to protect the border, but we also believe that the capital remains at a disadvantage as long as we do not know the rebels' turn for surrender. If you move forward in good faith to protect the people and hear them out, the rebels may try something dishonest. Would the people who support the rebels still continue to do so if their unconscionable demands and horrible crimes are made public? So you want to call them on their bluff. I like it. But I suspect a proposal to please both sides will fail, as it has before, but there's no harm in trying. Members may proceed with the final vote of the day. Members collect their terracotta slips and place their votes, each one clattering onto the pile with resonant sound. Ground just talk very little as they watch the voting process. There are a lot of votes in agreement, but a lot of them look to be against it as well. It's too hard to tell. Trust that the past week of your efforts have gone well. What we can do now is wait. At the last vote displays various empties out the vases. The piles look to be even. The jackal has to count each and every one. Some time passes before he stands up to declare the results. 249 agreeants, 250 against. Yeah, we lost by 1. Not by 1 vote? A single one? You're kidding me. Croco's spell wasn't even enough? Vitus, are you forgetting something? What could I possibly be forgetting now in this moment? You have 1 miracle left. All you must do is call upon me to use it. Allow me to turn the tides in your favor. Hey, I'll help out too. You're not gonna complain about it this time? Nah, we're furious. Really now? The demiurges reach towards the sky. Golden sparkle emerges from Akari Hari's fingertips while flame slashes outwards from Mukaki. Wind kicks up within the chamber, confusing the unaware council members. Tell them, Vitus, Valisus. Tell them about this one last miracle. The god speaks to me. He cries out for your faith and your support for this compromise. He brings you rain. He brings you rain. The
chamber becomes dim as clouds shroud the sky above and manifested rain pours down from above. Many men blink, stupefied by the sudden downpour in the middle of the desert. And he brings you shadow. And he brings you shadow. An eclipse. Wow. Some clouds part ways to reveal the sun shining above. This ephemeral light is soon blocked by the appearance of a moon moving to eclipse the sun. The moon's outline is cast in golden light as darkness covers the entire city. The manifested storm spirals around the eclipse like an eye, a massive eye of the god looking down upon them. The people are filled with amazement, with joy, with terror. Oh, do any of you regret your stances? Would you vote to protect your friends and open an ear to your enemies? I implore you to reconsider. That kind of goes hard, actually. I'm gonna have a hard time figuring out a thumbnail. We'll recast the vote then. The same proposal as before is put forth by the Crown Mages. If your stances are the same, then the results will be the same. Members may proceed with the vote. This time there's no doubt as the House's members scramble to support the proposal. At long last, we are united in agreement. We'll begin the necessary preparations tomorrow. For now, we best dry our fur. A loud rumble rises as the procession ends and the sky returns to as it should be. Vitas, Valises, and Kairos can't help but cheer and embrace one another in victory. Several days later, the Crown Mages are a bit more at ease, but not entirely uncomfortable. Still no news of Sulpicius. Last I heard, he was still in meeting with the dictator. Do you think something has gone awry? He hasn't been seen walking around the palace freely, so that's unlikely. Someone could be keeping him there, but who or for what reason? There's no indication of anything like that. I just hope we get to see him soon. Me too. It's almost been 3 weeks now. That reminds me. Remember how I had your arbitration pushed back? How could we forget? Well, I think you should do it this week. This week? Why? Not a soul missed the miracle that shrouded the capital in a blanket of darkness and of rain. All the miracles you perform are still fresh in people's minds. I cannot go anywhere without gossip mentioning your names with reverence. Some say plants are growing better than they were before, and they credit the bountiful harvest to your name. And others fear you as a potent political force. It would be in your best interest to claw your names in the court of law. There's a knock at the door. Allow me to get that. Carol starts off and returns not much later. There's a letter addressed to the both of you. Well, what does it say? Carol opens the letter. Seems as though Regulus and Timaeus want to meet with you over tea. Alone. I was hoping they'd be leaving us alone after this. We should see what they have to say. So 2 hours and 33 minutes so far recording plus the other one. The letter instructs the Crown Mages to visit the House of Commons Gardens later that afternoon. Upon their arrival, they see 2 men pouring tea for one another. Come along, Crown Mages. Aha, do join us. Felicis? This is strange. Very strange. Should we leave? Oh, don't keep us waiting. Senator wraps his arm around both of their shoulders and embraces them. All the while, the Tribune casts a spell with a flash of light. Apologies, protocol. You never know who might be listening from a distance. Hugs? Tea? Laughter? Can someone please tell me what this is about? Why are you both so friendly all of a sudden? Because you won. A cause for celebration if there were any. But the both of you lost. Did we? They've been working together from the start, Vidas. But I thought you both couldn't stand one another. If that were true, then why would we always be together? I told you when we first met that Regulus was putting on a performance. Just so happens that Timaeus was too. I hate this. Now, don't be so feisty. Regulus and I have dreamed of unifying the council for over a year, and we couldn't have done it without you both. But aren't you the most powerful voices in your respective houses? The rivalry between the houses existed long before us and will continue long after we're gone. As we said, private interests were standing in the way of progress. You saw that for yourself during the first banquet. But that's not the only reason you invited us there. Of course, we thought using the heroes to achieve our goal was most important. Sorry again for that, but we were desperate. But we could not rely on just one plan, so we decided to do at least 5 at once. And which one was successful? They both point at the Crown Mages. Your individual successes. I'm flattered, but it was a group effort. Why fake a rivalry when you both ultimately want the same thing? Some people need enemies to strengthen who they are and what they will fight for. We entertained that need to be in a position to stop the infighting from getting out of hand. But the rebels cut us off guard, using that weakness against us. The dictator is absent and the councilors are scared for their business, and the senators are being blackmailed. But in spite of everything against you, they have faith in you because of the miracles. When you put it like that, it sounds like we didn't do much at all. Remember, Vitus, we only have power because of people's belief in us, and now we're stronger than ever. You're all very welcome then. We really do appreciate it. Will you stay a bit for tea? They have rose petal tea, Vitus. I won't say no to that. Does rose petal tea taste... I can't imagine a rose tasting that delicious. Vitus leans against his cushion and listens to the crashing waterfalls behind him. He imagines the water on his journey throughout the city and the many sights it must pass. Then it descends into murky darkness, unsure of where it will end up next. Vitus washes the water within his cup darkened with the infusion of tea leaves. Does he flavor the water, or is he being changed as easily as the water flows? What? What are you talking about? The demiurges observe from a distance as the crown mages enjoy a moment of respite. Things won't stay good for them, you know. But there's something to say about living in the moment. Obviously, peace never lasts. Not without a bit of divine muscle interfering, it won't. He kisses his bicep and Makari Hari rolls his eyes. He does have a lot of biceps. Miracles cannot solve every problem. Yeah, that was the whole point of me downplaying them, yet here we are anyways. Not with that attitude. That is something that has been said many times in my life. Faith doesn't last forever, neither does magic. That's why I must prepare people to solve their own problems, to leave behind with structure. Structures don't last so long when it's all torn down in the end. You give them resilience, build them to last. You can be as careful as you want, but in the end, nothing you do will matter. Must we argue again? Nah, I was just thinking out loud. A long time ago, some of the old crown mages agreed with me, didn't they? If you asked me a month ago, I'd reject the possibility. But today, right now, I just don't remember. We got plenty of time. Arcana Imperii. The longest chapter thus far. God damn it, Dylan. Why did it have to be so long? Well, God damn you, Dylan. Absolvo. Well, Absolvo has to come later because we currently have 275 and I've been recording for almost 3 hours. Alright. Let's see what we got. Oh, we have one of Regulus and Timaeus. Karihari 2, Drusus, Crocus 2, Reese. Okay. Alright. I will do Makari Hari 2. Refund mementos. Alright. Let's start with Makari Hari 2. I'm still thinking about the vote between the houses. Only miracles would convince them in the end. I was on edge the whole time. Me too. If the demiurges didn't help us out, I don't know what we would have done. Not that they have much else to do other than help us out. Well, you aren't exactly wrong. But aren't you being a little disrespectful towards the demiurges? What do you mean? Do you realize what you're saying? You're actually rather rude towards Lord Makari Hari and Lord Makaki. Well, he's right, Vitus. Oh, Makari Hari emerges beside them. His eyes closed, his posture strong, as if passing judgment upon mankind. Only his glowing towel betrays his majesty. You should revere me. Why should I? Because I am Makari Hari. That's not a good reason. Well, yes. I'm great. Oh, really? Of course I am. Although I have little strength now, I did once pass judgment upon the evils of this world. Most would cherish my benevolent influence. And because you are powerful, I should respect you? That doesn't seem in line with your principles. You're twisting my words. It's not because of my power, but because I'm great. Oh, is that what that is? I thought you disliked idolatry. I dislike mortals wasting energy on pointless worship and prayer, but I still demand respect. Do not forget that you are my messenger. Why would other people think if they heard you disrespect my name? Do you see anyone listening? It's a principle on the matter. What principle? Do tell. The principle that one should respect and listen to a wise teacher. Even more so because I'm Makari Hari. Oh, but you have yet to say anything particularly wise, and none of your behavior is worthy of respect. Hey Vitus, aren't you taking this a bit too far? You, Crown Mage! How dare you speak to me like that? You're very insistent today. Acting like this is exactly why I don't show you respect. You're just a big kid throwing a tantrum. You can't say that. Makari Hari fumes in rage. His fur begins to stand on end, his body glowing brighter with ethereal light. Of course I can say that. By your own philosophy, you should earn my respect with wise words and actions that truly move me. Instead, you demand my respect. Did it ever cross your mind that you are the reason why I don't respect you? But... Anyways, why does it bother you so much? Does one mortal not respecting you really diminish your greatness? That is, if you're as great as you think you are. But you are my messenger. Even if my messenger does not respect me, then are you really worthy of respect? Unquestionably. Why not question it? I'm Makari Hari. I created the philosophy you Crown Mages follow. I fought with the devil for eons, saving those followers he led into temptation. How can I be unworthy of respect? Whether you are right or wrong, I do respect the philosophy you stood for, but that doesn't mean the Makari Hari I know is deserving of the same respect. But I am the same Makari Hari. That doesn't mean you embody the same philosophy. What do you mean? You taught that we should not blindly respect those in power. Yes, but you are not blind to who I am. But that respect must come from the heart. I did say that, but if I said that I respected you right now, I would not mean it one bit. That's... In fact, by being honest with you, I am following your philosophy. Don't you agree? Ahem. Possibly, you may be correct. See? I will not respect you until you do something that makes me want to from the bottom of my heart. But still, I'm Makari. I'm Makari Hari. Why not just respect me? Everyone holds me with reverence. It's what people are expected to do. I want you to like me, Makari Hari dives into the pool, thrashing his limbs about. However, without a physical body, the water stays just as still as it had been prior to his outburst. Lord Makari Hari, you really do look like a child right now. Who cares? Our god can be immature if he wants. This really isn't helping your case. I do not care. But you do care, much more than you realize. Vitas reaches his paw towards Makari Hari, pulling his massive form upright with great effort. Fortunately, Vitas' ability to see the demiurges extends to making physical contact. The now seated immortal lion bears a defiant pout. I have said my piece. Changing my stance would only betray your philosophy. But I will treat you with respect I would show a friend. I'm not going to mock you. But if you act like a dingbat, I will call you out. That sounds acceptable to you? I suppose so. Seems to be the most I can ask for. Alright, big guy, don't cry. Come and give me a hug. Vitas spreads his arms wide and embraces Makari Hari's entire body. He even reaches up to ruffle Makari Hari's golden mane, shamelessly caressing thin air to anybody watching. Can't believe I'm saying this, but this actually feels rather nice. You mean feeling like a big kid? I mean the feeling of being embraced by a mortal. Anyway, I don't feel so mad anymore. But I don't feel happy either. I might yet change my mind. I have the urge to run away. Vitas, try and stop me. Huh? Sure. Lord Makari Hari, I request you soak a while longer. Yes, if I must. Vitas grinces. Makari Hari quickly sits down in the water next to him. The two take deep breaths, enjoying the scent of citrus and the closeness of the other. Belisa, yeah, what on earth did I just witness? Exactly. Oh my god. That was fucking gold, dude.
That's by far the funniest. That's by far the funniest one I've seen so far. Well, since Regulus and Tamayo are the main part of this thing, let's grab them, I guess. Within the humid bathhouse, Kairos beckons Vitus and Valises through a narrow passage where the theme thickens. Come, let me show you something. Be sure to remember this spot. What's so special about this spot? It's so steamy I can hardly see the water. This is the favorite gathering place of the nobles in the capital bathhouse. You could say that without clear vision, one is likely to speak their mind freely. If anything, they do more than speak free. Ah, perfect timing. Just the people you both should get familiar with. Look, over there, Senator Tamios and Tribune Regulus. And now they're bathing in water together? Oh, they be fucking. Kairos points across the bath. Behind the billowing steam resides shadows of their obsidian and hazel figures. Although the steam is too thick, make them out. No, that's a spelling error. Typo. Although the steam is too thick to make them out for certain, anyone familiar with the two would surmise they had to be Tamios and Regulus. Oh, is it really them? Vitus squints through the steam. The duo are basking in the hot water, eyes closed and seemingly disinclined to conversation. It's the first time I've seen them not arguing over some matter. Back in the garden, they said it was all performance, remember? But even now I find them strange. You ever question how they really feel about one another? Well, there are rumors about that. Plenty, in fact. I know all about them. Why are you here? Concealed until now, Zermes walks out from behind the crown mages. Zermes? Go on, what are the rumors? My, I didn't know Verlises was so curious about this kind of thing. Rumors about them are of two minds. Some say the cold tech to turn Tamios becomes an insatiable beast in bed. Others say that the fiery, beautiful Regulus must be the one in charge. Excuse me? So you're saying Regulus is the top? Huh? That's not what at all I was asking about. But the other rumors are so boring. Sure, they could take turns in bed, but where's the passion in that? If you ask me, the most asinine take is that they are both the playthings of the dictator. Again, not at all what I was asking about. Lord Zermes. As much as I enjoy gossip, such indulgent rhetoric only tarnishes the council's image. Perhaps we could discuss something else. Hey now, I'm just calling it like it is. The whole council is trying to work out what lies behind that feisty facade. Are you grabbing... Oh, I thought you were grabbing your dick. Okay. A single remark and any official will have something to say. And have you ever asked them how they feel about that? Fair point. I wonder what they really think about being the center of attention. And I'm always one for being direct. Oi, Regulus, Tamios. Zermes leaps forward through the water, shocking Tamios and Regulus out of their relaxation. How on earth does he move that fast even through water? What business do you disturb us with? He is... Nothing much, just a small question that everyone must know. In bed, which one of you is the top? Zermes! You can't ask them that. Well, my bad. So what do you say? Regulus locks eyes with crowd mages and Kairos as they approach. Aha, you must have heard what the other council members have been saying about us. Yeah, sorry for disturbing your rest. No worries, but let me stress, these rumors are nothing but hearsay. It's absurd. How could we be in that kind of relationship? It's not baseless though, is it? Even now you two follow each other like lost pups. Only because our duties are closely aligned. The nuisance is always looking to bother me. I can't believe in place of his sprite of him holding a book, they put 2 wine glasses. That's actually kind of fucking funny now that I think about it. Oh please, you're the one tracking my every action. Why should I care about what sort some lowly commoner gets up to? Why would I fuss over your draconian interests? Two look at each other intensely, sparks smoldering between their icy glares. Hey, now, this is some friendly banter, pay it no mind. Yes, please ignore Zermes' nonsense. He says stuff like this all the time. I certainly don't mind it. Besides, putting on a show of good relations with this hyena's political theater. That's why we appear to get along, you see. You'd be a fool to take our act seriously. So you're acting even now, in this bathhouse, naked and wet as the day you were born? Ah, if there's an audience, wait. watching, then this is an excellent stage. In that case, why not give us a oh no, wait a minute. Huh, and why should I play along? If you're not willing to practice what you preach, then the other nobles will see through your shoddy act. I have none in practice. I will play any role in service to the Republican House. Oh really? The other day, in a council meeting, you almost slipped up and said something nice about my proposal. If you're talking about resolve, there's room for improvement, isn't there? Oh, how curious. What's your goal provoking me like this? I have no goal. I'm just looking for assurance that you have what it takes. So you want to lean into the rumors and play along? I'm not opposed to toying with our friends. Regardless, I have no reason to cooperate with you. Consider your cooperation. I just hope you can control yourself when something bold. No. Please don't give me extra work to do. I don't want to have to censor something. Huh, you wouldn't dare. Then prove it. Prove it? You always say such irresponsible things but never take action. No. The Miles waits closer to Regulus. This is not an NSFW game, but suddenly the hyenas waits and press it against his own. Zermes whistles at the side. Well, is this bold enough for you? Faces are tantalizing close, noses just fingers breadth apart. Regulus startles at first, but quickly regains his composure. Is that all? I'm a little disappointed. Disappointed? What kind of performance were you expecting? Well, isn't it rather boring without a second act? Regulus leans in, biting the panther's lip. Timaeus chokes but doesn't release his hold on Regulus' waist, his digits tracing through the hyena's fur. Rather, Timaeus extends his tongue. As if competing over who is bolder, the two kiss aggressively, their tongues thrusting for dominance. I wasn't expecting them to take it this far. Oh, you're telling me, Ulysses. Too far, perhaps. Any noble who sees this might be mortified. Or maybe they'd be thrilled. No matter how shocking the sight is to everyone but Zermes, of course nobody could look away. After all, by Regulus and Timaeus' own account, this act is meant for others to see. They kiss fiercely, fighting for whatever leverage they can get, till finally they have to break apart, mobs open panting for air. What the fuck did I just witness? They take a moment to catch their breath and then square their shoulders at each other. Satisfied? I trust I was bold enough. Aha, but I was the one kissed first. And I was the first one to extend my tongue. I admit that was bold, but you only did that after I kissed you. By that logic, I was the first to grab you. That was not particularly bold now, is it? But kissing is. Much bolder than just grabbing someone. Then it sounds like using your tongue is bolder still. Are you proposing something even bolder? In that case, this isn't the place. Oh really? Is that your excuse for not daring to do it? I think we've seen... you two, perhaps this far... Yeah, exactly. I'm afraid anything bolder may be ill-suited for young eyes. Yes, exactly. Horny jail, both of you. But we're all adults here, no? Lord Zermes, I'm trying to not make things harder for them. No matter, this is all but an act. Of course you'd say that, because it's the truth. Alright, do as you please, but we should not be privy to it. Krynos grabs the crowd majors by the waist and leads them out the pool towards the changing room. At the very last moment, Vitus catches one last glance at the two council members. Their faces are veiled by steam, but their figures have returned to their previous distance. It's strange to say, but could they be doing this on purpose? Doing what? Kissing for us to see? Not exactly. It's hard to explain. Forget I said anything. I say you should leave the careless speculation to Zermes. Whatever they want us to think, I won't be able to forget what I saw anytime soon. Yeah, neither will I. Same. Yeah, I recorded over 3 hours just to see. Like, I know I was making jokes about them being boyfriends and shit, but, you know, reading smut is something entirely different. Alright. So we have 100 more mementos. We can do it on Drusus, Crocus, Reese, or Zermes. Well, Zermes has been irritating me the most lately, so I guess. Well, there goes our chance for a relaxing evening. Maybe we should come back later. Unfortunately, Cheetah locks his gaze with Crown Mages. Too late. Vitas and Velisa shield their eyes while Zermes rises from the water, goes for his towel. Zermes walks up to them with the usual swagger in his step. Velisas retreats to the hallway, cheeks flushed. So Velisas just left me here? Saw that the both of you were about to approach me, so I decided to do so first. Pity that your friend is so easily scandalized. You're not exactly the best judge of such things. Everybody knows you're a bit shameless. A little bit of nudity? Shameless? I see that I still have so much to teach you two. Velisas is the better pupil, but you scared him away. Silly kitten. You still think that all of the things I do are frivolous, don't you? I don't recall saying that. You don't say it with your words. You say it with your tone, your posture, and your facial expressions. There's not a shy trace of mystery to you. Oh god. Why the fuck is he doing that face again? What I see on the surface is what I get. I won't forget how you handled the agricultural union. Of course you won't. It disgusts you too much. You prefer for your options to be nice and ethical, right? I think living with ethical standards is important, yes. Granted that you have the luxury to choose. There's always a choice for any action you take. That's certainly true if dying is on the table. But trust me, nobody has a lovely corpse. I don't care how cute you are. Now stop. Flattery doesn't work on me. Pits of the underworld. You should work on your lying skills too. That was embarrassing. Now hold on a minute. Now, kitty, I'm not that petty. I won't lord that little slip up over you. But isn't that exactly what you're doing right now? My, there may be some hope for you yet. I don't care how charming you are. You're not gonna wrap me around your little finger like the rest of the people you manipulate. Well, of course not. You're my master. You'd have to command me to wrap you around my finger if you wanted it that badly. That's how this all works, is it not? Talking to you exhausting. Oh, cheer up. All I mean to say is that if you want to stare. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be the center of attention. You should try to get comfortable with it sometime. After all, with each passing day, more and more eyes fall upon you. Two nobodies in fine robes from a fallen order, reforming a city and reshaping a battleground. You'd be surprised if you knew how many strangers love you, as well as how many of them want to kill you. Why is this the first I'm hearing of this? Because I made sure you never have to think about it. And what does that mean? I'll leave that up to your imagination. You're welcome. Why is it that you can bring up such dark topics as if you don't have care in the world? As if nothing matters at all? Because nothing does matter, kitten. What nonsense. Are you telling me that you really think there's some greater meaning to everything you do? You know what your gods are like. You've seen them. They're just like us but on a grander scale. They squabble for what they want, and when they have the power to take it, they do. If you take what you want, you can live how you want, and then your time runs out and you die. Somehow you managed to avoid that part. No, I definitely died. Now there was a spectacle. I just didn't cease to be. Or go wherever you go after, if there's such a thing. So you're going to sculpt around forever, then taking and doing whatever you want? So you're just going to skulk around forever, then taking and doing whatever you want? That's the plan. At least you're honest about that, I suppose. Well, now that I think about it, even that wasn't entirely true. Oh, really? I don't take anything without asking. Such as? Kisses, for one. Oh, wow. The bare minimum of courtesy. Do you want applause? Your virginity for two? I don't have that to offer you. Wait, I mean... oh. So, Vitas and Velisas have canonically fucked. Alright. I knew it! Damn it! I'm not talking to you anymore. Oh, that's quite alright. Trust me, I'm more than satisfied. I hope they choked you nice and slow the first time they offed you. That would have been much more fun. Alright. So
So we found out that Vitas and Velisas have fucked. Very interesting information, but honestly, I've played for way too long. Next up is Absolvo, but I've been recording for 3 hours, so I'm going to go and get some much deserved sleep. Thank you all so much for watching once again, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.